Ayo, 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 ayo. Random show episode number 67 with I, your host, Agostino Zinga. I hope you are doing well, my friends, my compadres, my amigos, my chicas, my chicos. Hope you are doing well. Big up everybody in the stream chat right now. Big up all of yous. I'd like to start off by saying I apologize for being so late. This is the latest I've been, 15 minutes. I do apologize, but I was getting some stuff fixed in the background. The most important thing I was getting fixed was the coffee. You know how it does within the coffee vibe today. And again, apologize also for the second thing I need to apologize for, the screen. So because my chat's being all weird and stuff, I'm only going to have it be my little screen so I see a display so you can see the chat coming up, because for some reason the chat isn't working as I'd like it. It just only comes up like, you know, the small side, you know. No, sorry, the chat only shows up when I do display. It doesn't show up when I put my whole picture. No, sorry, when I switch scenes, that's what I mean. When I switch scenes, the chat disappears. So I'm just going to leave it on this kind of screen. Hopefully you're not mad at that. You can't see my full HD face in terms of the whole screen, but hopefully this is okay. Maybe when I do the clips, I'll maybe clip it so my face fills out the full frame when I do it, you know, whatever the deal is. But big up everybody in the chat, big up everybody hanging out. Hope you're all well. It's Friday night for me. Look at the change. Look at God, right? Look at God. Look at God. One little sober October, and then suddenly look at me. I'm in on a Friday night, chilling and streaming with you guys instead of being outside doing some and drinking. I mean, and dancing. I'm in here chilling out, drinking, flipping iced coffees and shit. Look at God. Look how things change, man. Look how things change. I'm over the moon, man. Really over the moon that I'm chilling out. But yeah, big up everybody in the chat. Big up Jess Fury. Big up Vanilla Sky. Big up Tedry. Big up OJ. Big up Curtis in Houston, who's a member, I think that looks like, with a little star. That's awesome. Thank you for joining. Big up Space Kai, Tidal Phase. Big up Jordan Ray. Big up, big up, big up. You're my girlfriend now. Big up everybody that's in. I do appreciate all of you, and this should be a fun show. It should be. We've got loads of things to talk about, loads of things to get in on. We're going to watch a few videos, we're going to see a few interviews, we're going to touch on a few things that you saw in the title. All those names mentioned will be flipping addressed in this pod, and we're going to have some fun and do the damn thing. The only thing I ask of you, is to make sure that you like the stream. If you dislike it, of course dislike it, but if you're enjoying yourself and you're having a good time throughout the process of the stream, make sure you're smashing that like button so that my little video can appear in the algorithms, innit? That would be so much appreciated. Talking about algorithms, I don't really care about my views and stuff. I just do this for fun. It's awesome. Obviously, if this evolves into a thing where I can do it full time, that'd be great. But, you know, I just do it for fun and to waste some time. I don't play video games. I don't really go out that much anymore. Skateboarding's kind of been knocked on the head. I don't play football, so this is the thing that I do for fun. And I was looking over my videos and it's hilarious, the disparity in views. As soon as I start talking about all these, you know, LA flipping delinquents, right, these comedian guys, suddenly they all jump up over the 1,000 mark. When I'm talking about the stuff that I actually want to talk about, the stuff that I'm actually interested in terms of the cultural stuff I talk about, with clubs, with fashion, with sneakers, with stuff happening in the news, whatever it may be, the views are super low. It's such a weird position to be in, because I'm appreciative of all of it. I really am, but it's kind of like, now I understand why actors get annoyed when they get typecast. Like that guy in Game of Thrones, Rob Stark, right? I think he went through a really bad phase where he was depressed and he was on the booze and stuff. I don't know what the cause was, but let me just guess and say maybe he was typecast and he couldn't be any other character apart from Rob Stark. People just kept seeing Rob Stark and he didn't have the range, or maybe people didn't believe that he'd be another character. I don't know, whatever it may be. But that role was so monumental, was so defining, that you can only see him one way. And I think and you just get stuck in that one thing. So I imagine that's sort of the thing I'm going to get stuck in. Do you think I'm going to get stuck into a future where all I have to do if I want to get views is talk about Brendan Schaub and Bryan Callen? That is such a nightmare if that happens to be my future. To be honest, if that happens to be my future, you know what I might do actually? If that happens to be my future, if the only way I can have a career on here is to talk about Brendan Schaub and Bryan Callen, or Bryan Callen, sorry, and Brendan Schaub, I might just start a channel where I just comment on everything they do every single day. That would be hilarious. But anyway, I just had the realization today. I was like, God damn it, man. People don't care about anything I say outside of these guys. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. You know what I mean? I'm still happy everyone tunes in regardless. It's always fun to have you guys hang out and we can fool around and do the damn thing. Disclaimer as per usual. Disclaimer as per usual. These are just jokes. We're just hanging out, having a good time. Please do not go and disturb these guys on their platforms. I know you don't. For the most part, everybody on here is legit. All that stuff about trolling people on their social media pages to get blocked, I'm not for it. I think that's super lame. Leave these people alone. Let's laugh at what we laugh at on the stream, and then we carry on rolling on. We don't need to be doing anything else. Do you know what I mean? Let's just do that. Let's just laugh at what we want to laugh at, and then we continue moving on. Let's just move it. Oh, I like that, Curtis in London. Brendan Schaub and CALLEN are like a mirror to reflect on the culture as a whole. That's true. That's true. I think in the early videos I used to do on them, the first ones, because I don't really say this a lot, but I think I might take credit for being the first person who was making these videos on these guys, because I started doing them maybe towards the end of the pandemic or something. Maybe no, so the beginning of the pandemic, I think so. I remember the first videos I did on them, the whole point of doing those videos about talking about certain topics, right, or certain things that happen on a podcast was so I can have a message at the end, like, oh, look at this dumb thing this guy did, here's how it can apply to your life, here's how you can make sure you don't do the same thing. That was usually my kind of, you know, my sort of format of the video. Then I just got bored of having life lessons on there and, you know, speaking my piece, because who am I to tell you anything? Do you know what I mean? And then over time it just turned into, let's just point and laugh. But, you know, it is what it is. What can we do? What people are saying, Yunji is saying the golden hour was kind of nice. I'm not surprised. Yeah, big up Dark Web J also. I'm not surprised the golden hour was good. I already said before, I really like the theme song, and legitimately I think Chris D'Elia and Eric Griffin are super funny on podcast. They really rub off each other really well. I don't think Eric Griffin's that funny on his own. When he's on his own podcast, it's a bit dead. It's a bit like, you know, it's a bit one note, it's a bit boring, but he turns up really well when he's with a guest. And Chris D'Elia, you know, his podcast, I don't listen to it anymore, but he used to be good, but the life has kind of been sapped out of him a little bit. So he's not the same. But when those two are, you know, on each end of the table, they do really well. They bounce off each other really well. The issue I have with the show is I think Brendan, to make that show successful, he should take a step back and let those two shine and basically serve them up jokes, right? Like how Brian Callen used to do on 10-minute podcast. He'd kind of just play into the bit and serve Chris D'Elia a joke, Sarah Will Sursa a joke. I mean, he'd do that kind of thing and just kind of, you know, bounce off each other and kind of help the joke to ride that way. But Brendan wants to take part. He's also a young comic. He wants to, like, you know, prove that he's funny too. So he's getting involved and he's ruining the joke, ruining the flow. And it's and the thing is, well, because those two guys, Chris D'Elia and Eric, are so funny, it makes Brendan look worse. I mentioned it before in the pod. I know Brendan's horrible at comedy. I know. We all know he's terrible at stand-up. But let's be honest. If he was a little bit humble in who he surrounded himself with, he wouldn't look as bad. But because he keeps putting himself next to these killers, he looks terrible in comparison. You know what I mean? He looks really, really bad. So I feel like that show, if he was more of a host and less of a person take, you know, whatever that was, I don't take person taking part. If he was more of a host on there, the show would be amazing, in my opinion. I think it'd blow up really, really fast. But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, the golden hour was not too bad. It's actually a better combo with those three. Maybe on podcasts anyway, maybe the perfect number on podcasts is like 1, 2, and 3. Having 4 doesn't necessarily work, innit? Doesn't necessarily work. The only thing I can think of that works well, that is when they do that Save Our Parks with Joe Rogan. He does that with Mark Norman, Ari Shaffir, and what's his name? And Shane Gillis. But that's like once every 3 months or something. So like a regular thing. I think regular pods, you can't have more than 3 people. It kind of feels a bit weird after a while. Or actually, I think those guys, those political guys, they have more than 4 people, right? Or more than 5. What they called? They're like what they called, man? They're politics dudes. They've got like a Patreon show as well. What are their flipping names? I think they're obviously DNC Democrat people, but they have a pod and they have a whole host of guests on there, or co-hosts that take part in it. What's their names? I don't know what their name is. I can't remember. Actually, another good example. What's his flipping name? That kid with the beanie. His live stream, he has quite a few people on the live stream, innit? Even H3 actually. I know they're not all co-hosts, but there's Ethan, sometimes his wife, then there's the people who produce the show in the background talking to. it all kind of, you know, there's a lot of them. Yeah, Tim Paul, that's the guy. Yeah, Tim Paul. Yeah, that's the one. Chapo Trap House. Thank you, Charles. Chapo Trap House. That's one of the only ones I can think of that has more than like 4 guests on it, and people seem to enjoy it. Even a good one example is, I don't know if you guys watch it, but it's a really good live stream I check out sometimes called Nerdrotic, right? And they have I forgot the name of the show, but they have a live stream that they do that's really good, and they have sometimes like 8 people, 10 people on there at a time. It's awesome. I really am a big fan of it. But hey, what can we do? Let's jump into the show. Enough of my ramblings, and let's jump into the show. First things first I wanted to talk about was this, because I don't necessarily understand it. I'm trying to figure it out in real time. Hopefully you guys can help me. So have you guys seen this? This is pretty hilarious, isn't it, right? It says Cheesecake Factory employee claims that DABABY came to her job and gave out up to 30 tickets to the show in Nashville. And if you know anything, so there was a screenshot taken of DABABY show he was doing in Nashville, where the promotion said he was doing buy one get one free tickets, but they still weren't selling even a buy one get one free. So clearly, you know, he's struggling to shift tickets. And then somebody took a video of him allegedly walking through a Cheesecake Factory, as you can see here from this picture, trying to hand out tickets to fans to go and use so they can go to his flipping show. And one girl tweeted earlier on, I don't know if it was a troll, I think she was being legit. She tweeted that he came to her workplace and left like 100 tickets for them to take if they wanted to come to a show later, and no one took them because, you know, they've all got other plans or whatever it may be. So even giving out free tickets is not happening. So I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is going on with DABABY? Because I feel like there's been a concerted effort to basically get him the hell out of here ever since he made those comments on was it Coachella? No, is it? Yeah, I think it was Coachella. No, Rolling Loud. Sorry, Rolling Loud. He's not gonna play Coachella, is he? So it was at Coachella where he made those comments that people deemed to be homophobic, and he got legitimately, like, that was a proper cancellation. Because I remember at the time he said he had a deal with Burger King. He was gonna bring out a burger meal. I think that was the time when everyone was doing burgers, right, or meals at McDonald's. He had a deal called so he's meant to have a meal called Kirk or something. I think he mentioned it on the Nelk Boys podcast, and that got pulled. And I think it was like a $10 million deal. And imagine, in corporate world, once you get that first brand deal, usually more follow. Like, if other brands see how your thing performed, they'll then tap you in. So the potential money that he lost was way above 10 million, because of, you know, how much benefit that flipping, that flipping Burger King deal could have done. So, but I'm wondering what happened to his demise, because obviously since then everything's kind of gone south for him in terms of music relevancy. When in terms of money and stuff, he's probably going to be fine because he can still book shows. He's still going to get guest appearance fees and stuff, so it's pretty much okay as long as he invests his money well. But in terms of being relevant and being really hot, and that's what most rappers care about, they don't really care about making good music. They're more about, I want to be the #1 person. You know, he had a feature with flipping Dua Lipa, for instance, right? She's a flipping proper mainstream pop star. To get that sort of features, you have to be piping hot. So because of that, I'm wondering if the reason why this is happening is because he didn't actually understand his fan base. This might be one of those weird occasions where he didn't understand his fan base. Someone said he can sell his chain. LOL. He didn't understand his fan base. Like, he didn't know that he actually has a majority. Because I thought at the time when he was coming up, I would have thought he had more guy fans, because I was really into his music when he first jumped on the scene. Then I kind of got a bit bored of the flow and stuff, but I was a big fan of his, especially the videos. I think he's super creative when it comes to the videos. But I don't think he realized that the majority of his fans are actually women. And I think he didn't factor that in. So I guess once he started doing that, once he started being super toxic, it didn't work. And then also once he started going through that drama with Danny Lay, I think that was a real faux pas. He really messed up there. That Danny Lay situation was a real own goal. Him basically, you know, going through this, going through a domestic issue in terms of him looking after the baby that they had and being with her and stuff, and that infamous live stream where he's on Instagram live essentially chucking her out of his apartment because he's had enough and stuff on live, and he's being really arrogant about it. That's crazy. Someone's Eddie D said he killed it on Jail Part 2 though. Yeah, of course. Yeah. He's awesome. Honestly, once he takes himself out of the conventional stuff that he puts out and he's on actual tunes like that, the Kanye record, I'm sure Kanye gave him some instructions of how to skip on a record. The beat was a bit different. He sounded awesome. He's actually a decent rapper once he gets out of his little kind of pocket that he's always in. But the way his career's gone south is weird, man. And like I said, I think it's mostly because he didn't understand that he has a lot more women fans than he has guy fans. And obviously there might have been, because girls think he's good looking, I'm sure there was a certain group of his fan base that also happened to be gay that he didn't know about. And once you come out on stage and start making homophobic comments, the gay guys leave you. And once you start making comments, usually most girls will leave you too, because most girls have, especially girls that listen to him, would probably have gay friends also. So you're left with basically no one, and then he's out here on his own, you know, trying to struggling for quote unquote relevancy. So I'm interested to see where this goes. Can he recover and come back to the level that he was at previously? I don't really know how that works, because it feels like once the industry turns their back on you, it's very difficult to kind of go back, especially with the level that he was at in terms of being a rap pop star. He'll still probably have a decent rap career, but in terms of returning to that level where he's doing collaborations with Dua Lipa, I don't think that's happening ever. It's not happening. Oh yeah, Jess Fury mentioned it. The baby punched a 64-year-old in the face. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's a story about him going to film a video, and I think he filmed a video on Airbnb, but I guess he didn't inform the host that it was going to be a lot of people there. The host then comes back because of some noise complaints. The owner of the home comes back because of noise complaints. They get into an argument, the owner and the baby's entourage, and then I guess something happens in a scuffle where the guy gets flipping punched or stuff, whatever. It's crazy. Like an old guy. If I'm not mistaken, it was like an older Asian dude or something. Yeah, I mean, they end up kind of rushing him in the spot, which is flipping ridiculous. Imagine renting your house to somebody and then you come and tell them to keep the noise down, and then they punch you in the face. Absolutely insane. So wild boy, maybe he can turn it around. You know me, I'm always a big fan of redemption stories. I love when people kind of who get counted out have an order to come bring it back around again. In my opinion, because it's music, if he produces good music and puts out good music, people are always going to mess with him again. So I'm pretty much sure if he focuses on that, he'll be fine. But I'm curious to see how the scene industry will respond to him once he starts getting back and doing what he knows best. But it's going to Cheesecake Factory and trying to shift tickets and no one taking them is really embarrassing. But I also like the fact that he's not cancelling the show. That's the thing I have to mention just to end it. I like the fact that he's not cancelling it, because I know certain rappers, if they don't sell a certain amount of tickets, they cancel shows. Even Schaub does it. He's admitted to it, where if they don't sell enough tickets, he'll just pretend like, oh, you know, what you call it, I had COVID, or he had some sort of family issue or something, or the club will take off a date and let him only do 2. People do that a lot. I'm a big fan of artists going to perform shows, regardless if you sold 1, 10 or 15,000 tickets. Go and rock out that crowd and make that experience worth it, so that you have a fan for life. Because if that's me and I go to a show and there's only 10 people there, but the performer performs like they're performing to a full crowd, I'm gonna be a fan forever. I've got your back, and I'm going to defend you on social media every time. So I like the fact that he's actually trying to move the tickets and trying to get people out there, which is good to see. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. People say, why ain't you got to stand up to what? No, thank you, mate. What your Yon Geo says Zinga needs to do stand up on Kill Tony. No, I'm good, man. There's no stand up bone in my body, and unfortunately, none whatsoever. Not interested, don't care, don't think it's the coolest job in the world, not jealous of them, absolutely have no interest in it whatsoever. Don't mind watching your stand up here and there, but have no interest in it whatsoever. Don't care. Never have cared, to be honest. Maybe I prefer to be in like a sketch comedy or something. That might be fun. But to be a stand up comic, nah, I'm good, man. Don't really care for it in the slightest. I think it's one of the most overrated art forms that exist. But hey, that's my own opinion out there. This is a really crazy video. Really crazy video. You seen this? The fact that Roadway took those chips. So Roadway was performing at his show, which is sold out and super full, by the way. Like I didn't know he was that popular, Roadwave. People love Roadwave. The kids love Roadwave. He's performing, doing his thing, and somebody decided to mute this because the music's gonna be copyrighted. But someone decides, let me put it up and then I'll turn it down. But someone decides to throw some chips on the stage as he's performing. You know how disrespectful that is? Look at this. You see that? Look, it's at the chips. It's so embarrassing, man. Honestly, so embarrassing. Having been a former big dude, like a really big dude, I think at my biggest I was like 280 or 260, I think, or something like that. Where's the video? Yeah, I think at my biggest I was like 260 or something. Having been a former big dude, I have to say, you have many moments of inflection, many moments of reflection, and many moments where you suddenly think, you know what, enough's enough, I've got to lose weight. And I think my moment, similar to this public embarrassment, was when I went to Uniqlo. There was a moment, I think, when, I must have been like 260, 270 or something crazy, right? And I think this is around the time that Uniqlo maybe not first opened, but it was kind of getting popular here in the UK. And back then, when Uniqlo first launched, I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but Uniqlo back then, it actually had Japanese sizing. Now, obviously, Uniqlo is more popular and they have more European sizing and it's more just, it can fit most people. But back in the day, it wasn't like that. And I remember back in the day, their jeans only went up to like a 36 or something. And I went there to try and buy some selvage denim, thinking that I was going to, thinking that I was going to fit in those bad boys. And then I went there, and then I guess what? Yeah, it was just this happened. Sorry, this happened. Let me rewind it. At the time, I went to Uniqlo to try and buy some jeans. I was wearing these 100 jeans. I wear the brand called the Hundreds, right? Streetwear brand. I had these jeans that I got from them a while back, really, really long time ago. But I'd worn them so long that I guess I stretched them, but I didn't know I stretched them out. I thought that was my size. So when I went to the jean store to go buy some new jeans, I got a realization that I'm not actually the size of the jeans I'm wearing. I'm a bigger size because these have been stretched out to the end. So I was trying on many pairs of jeans, and I got to a point where I was asking a lady, because they have the jeans on display on the racks on the shelf, and then I went through the whole entire shelf and it didn't fit. Then I tried to go to the flipping sales assistant and I asked her, "Oh, excuse me, do you have these in like a 38 or 40 or something?" I think I forgot what I said. And she looked at me and she was like, "Oh, baby, no. They don't make this sort of style in that sort of size." I'm so, like, she gave me like a sad look, like a mum look. "Baby, no, sorry. Like, baby, no. They don't go up to 40s. They don't make them in 52-inch waists." Do you know what I mean? And my heart sank. And I legitimately, because I think that was the day like I got paid or something, so I was gonna go out and buy a couple of bits and bobs so I could go out. I legitimately went home, just went straight home. I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm running. I decided on that day I'm going to go for a run. I think I ran my first 5K the next day. It took me probably 45 minutes to finish it because I was super heavy. But that's my journey. I started to kind of lose some weight. It was legitimately other. People say stop making self-conscious. No. Dark Web J, you're probably way taller than me because I'm only 6 foot. So to be 260 and it be mostly fat as well wasn't good. It wasn't good because I'm not going to say it was muscle. It was mostly fat. Or maybe it was 280. I don't know. But it was a big amount. And then I got to my smallest I got down to, I was what, 180. Now I'm about 240 probably. I think I'm about 240. I haven't weighed myself in a while. 240, 250. No, am I 240? What am I now? I don't know. Maybe 240, maybe 250. Who knows? But the biggest I was probably was 260, 280, around that. And then I got down to 180. And I'm only 6 foot. So it was mostly fat as well. It wasn't good. It wasn't good weight. I'll tell you that much. It wasn't good weight. But it was a good flipping... it was a good realization that I need to kind of get my weight together. But I don't know. I got the feeling Rod Wave doesn't care. He's probably, once you got money, I think it's a bit different, especially when you're a dude, because the main pressure guys have to lose weight, I feel like, is girls for the most part. You want to look good in clothes. You want to attract women. So you, what's that thing called? So you lose weight and get fit. I assume that's most of the time you do it. But if you're rich and you got money, look at Rick Ross, look at DJ Khaled, you don't really care because you know the money is going to attract the birds anyway. Do you know what I mean? So you just kind of leave it off of that. I get it. Chest Theory. Chest Theory. 240. How many C's is that? 2 or 3? Definitely 3. I'm my biggest, or even now. Could I be deemed as thick? I don't know. Nah, fuck that. I'd rather be called fat than called thick. That thick thing is just awful. If you're fat, you're fat. It is what it is. You want to lose weight or you don't. It's not that big of a deal. But these coping words people use, fit, curvy, it's just bizarre. It never made sense to me. Fat is fat, big is big, it is what it is. Big, fat, small, skinny, cool. This whole curvy and thick stuff is just bizarre. No need to cope. And it's worse for guys too. Guys shouldn't cope. I think women should cope. Women are allowed to cope because women generally are more self-conscious than dudes. Well, most women. But, you know, calling myself thick, man. Imagine walking around with a thick hoodie. You'd have, honestly, if you saw me with that, I'd give you permission to slap me on the ass. Anyway, moving on. Oh, damn it. To finish the Rodway thing. If that wasn't embarrassing enough, if that's what wasn't about, do you guys remember this clip of Rodwave kind of falling through the stage? Don't get me wrong, it wasn't him. It wasn't because he's so fat he fell through the stage. It was mostly his crew because he had like a million goons there behind him. But look at this. Imagine this being you. Imagine walking into a club, feeling yourself a bit big, and then as you're walking, you flipping fall on you step, and then the floor flipping gives way. Just imagine how you feel. Somebody grab him and picture, please. This ain't a dream. Stay off the internet, king. This life. Jesus Christ! Look at that. Look at that. His team did well though. They grabbed him straight away. Didn't want to make him embarrassed. But look at that. Boom. Look at it. Honestly. And you know what's the most embarrassing bit? That bit where he does that Humpty Dumpty thing. Look. He actually can't stand up off the floor by himself. Look at that. Look. He rolls and he's kind of like rocking. Like one of those Russian dolls. Is it Russian dolls or Russian eggs? No, things that kind of... No, it's not Russian egg. I think it's a Russian toy that's got like a ball and you knock it and it does this. All right? He's kind of rolling like that. Look at him. Look. You have to pick him up with both arms. Oh, man. Yeah, that's it. That's the gist. Yeah, like a turtle stuck on his back. Exactly. That's the perfect description. Look. Bless him, man. Bless. Honestly, I'd be way more comfortable. I wish I could be like comfortable being fat. I just can't. I'm too self-conscious and I love fashion too much. And I've got too many, clothes that I bought when I was super skinny that are really expensive that I would have I'm never going to throw away or change or whatnot or try and buy a bigger size. So I literally have to force myself to lose weight just so I can fit into the clothes I want to wear. Simple as that. Literally simple as that. Honestly, it's simple as that. So I kind of have to make it work. Do you know what I mean? I kind of have to make it work. Let's continue this again. Let's see what people are saying. Let's take this off the screen. Where is it? There you go. And let's go to the next thing. Next thing. Let's put. Oh, have you guys seen this? This is flipping wild, isn't it? Elon has reinstated Andrew Tate and flipping Jordan Peterson. They're back on the scene. I wonder if he's going to reinstate Milo Yiannopoulos because he was one of the. Am I not mistaken? Wasn't Milo Yiannopoulos one of the first big kind of names on that whole alt-right scene that got banned off Twitter when he was kind of going on his tirades and stuff? I don't know what exactly he said, but I think there was a moment where Milo flipping got cancelled in it. Why did Milo get cancelled again? What did he say? There was something he said in it. Oh, that's it. When Milo made those comments about young boys being into older men. I think something, right? Is that what he did? Something about young boys are into older gay guys and stuff, right? Or maybe he said he lost his virginity with an older dude or something. Was that what he said? Yeah, that's the one. That's it. The grooming. That's it, Yunjio. The grooming. Milo's a legend, man. I appreciate how much flipping shit stirring he did and how easy he triggered people. Milo and Ben Shapiro back in the day, like vintage Ben Shapiro, when he used to go to colleges and try and dunk on students or basically bully students, was absolutely brilliant YouTube content, man. Some of the best YouTube content that ever existed, honestly. Really, 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 really good. But yeah, it looks like here, courtesy of No Jumper, Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson are back on Twitter. They posted their first tweets back. Andrew Tate saying the following: mastery is a funny thing. It's almost as if on a long enough time scale, losing simply isn't an option. Such is the way of Wudan. I don't know what this guy is talking about. He does his thing. I don't know what that is. Maybe he read it from a Robert Greene book or something, but that's his quote regarding him returning back to flipping Twitter. He's got a nice photo shoot there where you can see his shiny head. So big up to him. And then Jordan Peterson, the psycho, decides to post this, which is pretty good. Good pick, very good and illustrious picture that he posted there back. To be fair, Jordan Peterson's the one person who probably needs to take a break from Twitter. He was getting way too addicted to it, and again, I was a fan of his. I went to go see him talk when he came to London in like 2017. I bought his books, all of his books actually that he's released. I was watching some of his lectures and whatnot on YouTube a lot of the times, and then, you know, he went through that issue with the benzos and stuff, and then I kind of lost interest, especially when his daughter came out and started grifting off his name. It kind of got a little bit corny, a little bit cringe, a little bit embarrassing to watch in real time. And his addiction to Twitter is awful, man. He'd be there arguing with people all hours of the night, attacking people, then crying when people attack him back. And then he did that unnecessary thing. Remember, he did that unnecessary thing with that girl for the Sports Illustrated issue when he said, "This is not an ideal body," and everyone's like, all right, so like, leave her alone, innit? And then he got absolutely ratioed and attacked and started crying about it. So Jordan Peterson probably doesn't need Twitter. He probably should be chilling somewhere. He doesn't need Twitter. He should be focusing on his flipping lectures, writing his books, you know, focusing on his psychology and stuff. But he doesn't need Twitter at all, honestly. Twitter actually broke Jordan Peterson's brain. He's way too smart, way too reasoned to be there. But hey, it is what it is. Oh yeah, true. That's a good point, Jess. Ethan Klein is still banned, but Ethan Klein got banned under Musk's new leadership. So he's pissed, innit? He's not going to get unbanned, I don't think. Yeah, because he got banned under this new leadership when Musk put that statement, put that rule in place about if you want to be a parody account, you have to make it explicitly clear that you're a parody. He didn't do it. He tried to troll and he got flipping. He shot himself in the foot. Yeah, Ethan is messed, innit? Oh no, Ethan's probably pissed. Yeah, Kathy Griffin is back as well. She's another one. And she kind of went hard at Elon as well, but she was banned prior, so that's cool. No, she wasn't banned prior. I apologize. She was banned during Musk's reign, I'm pretty sure. No, she wasn't. I'll take it back. She was banned before Musk's reign because she was banned because of that head stuff and the stuff that she said about Trump, I imagine. I think she said something about killing Trump or something, or some sort of inciting violence, I think. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate are back on Twitter. Expect fireworks. Expect some madness to occur. It's going to be fun on social media again, especially heading up into Christmas, because usually it gets a bit boring. So I cannot wait for all the drama. I'm going to sit back and watch it all. Then we've got this news. Have you seen this? This is pretty wild, man. I'm really surprised by this, honestly. Courtesy of BBC News. Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes jailed for fraud. She's actually going to prison, people. I legitimately didn't think she'd see the inside of a prison cell ever, in my opinion. I thought she'd find a way to get out of it. She'd pay a hefty fine. She might do some community service. She might, you know, whatever. Like, I didn't think she was going to actually end up in prison, honestly. But the fact that she's going to prison is a good thing, to be fair. It's probably not long enough considering the damage that she caused and the people that she hurt and the money that she flipping essentially stole, but God almighty. Let's read the article. Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes has been sentenced to 11 years in prison for defrauding investors in her blood testing startup that was once valued at $9 billion. God almighty, what a fumbling. The former Silicon Valley star falsely claimed the technology could diagnose diseases with just a drop of a few drops of blood. I'm just thinking back to the gizmo. The fact that these investors believed that that thing actually worked the way they intended to work is legitimately hilarious, man. You look at something that you'd see in a sci-fi TV show. Like, you could just prick your blood, put it in there, and it could tell you. Like, come on, man, come on. Holmes, 38, who is pregnant. Oh my gosh, she's pregnant. She's going to prison pregnant. I didn't know. You could, am I dumb for thinking I didn't know you could go to prison pregnant? Wow. Who was pregnant tearfully told the court that she felt deep pain for those misled by the scam. She was found guilty on January after a 3-month trial. Holmes expected to appeal against the sentence, which was handed down on Friday in a California court. Yeah, they always appeal. Sentencing has been widely viewed as a test of how seriously the justice system takes corporate fraud in the tech sector, once hailed as the next Steve Jobs. Yeah, share that voice, right? Share that voice that she was trying to do. Obviously not like that, but you know. Holmes was at one time said to be the world's youngest self-made billionaire. Honestly, what a fall from grace. She launched Theranos after dropping out of Stanford University at age 19, and its value rose sharply after the company claimed it could bring about revolution in diagnosing of diseases. But technology Holmes touted did not work, and awash in lawsuits, the company was dissolved in 2018. God almighty, 2018 to now, you know, the trials take a long time to conclude. At Holmes' trial in San Jose, California, prosecutors said she knowingly misled doctors and patients about the Theranos flagship product, the Edison machine, which the company claimed could detect cancer. Come on, honestly. White collar crime is the best because some of the smartest people in the world get duped. Look at this. The Edison machine said it could claim it could detect cancer, diabetes, and other conditions just from a few drops of blood. Are you insane? Don't get me wrong. It's understandable why they all jumped on it, because if this machine worked as it was intended to work, this lady would have been a trillionaire. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. When it comes to pharmaceuticals or, you know, anything concerning hospitals and all that sort of stuff and diseases, yo, those things go. When you make something that's a breakthrough that really kind of, you know, open doors and stuff like that and pushes stuff forward, you can imagine money would be made. But the fact that they believe this machine could work to that level without actually rigorously testing it beforehand, before kind of, you know, separating themselves with their money, says a lot about these people. They also accused Holmes of vastly exaggerating the firm's performance to its financial backers. Jurors ultimately found her guilty of 4 counts of fraud with a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison, but they found her not guilty on 4 counts of charges and failed to reach a verdict on those 3 more. Before Judge Edwards issued the sentence on Friday, Holmes read a speech to the court which tearfully apologized to investors and patients. Also, she finally apologized, because before she was never admitting it, she didn't do that, but she did. Her hair looks wild, isn't it? What kind of hair is that? Is that because she's got really strawy hair, or is that because she doesn't wash her hair? Or is she doing that thing that Amy Winehouse used to do when you kind of backcomb it? You remember that was a thing? Girls used to backcomb their hair. I don't know if girls do it nowadays still, to kind of make it look more like have it have more volume. I think you kind of backcomb it. But what is that? It looks very strawy, innit? Like, god damn it, woman. I'm devastated by the failures. I have felt deep pain for what the people went through because I failed them. I regret my failings with every cell in my body, the cells that I put in my machine. The judge referred to Holmes as a brilliant entrepreneur and told her, excuse me? Yo, this is white privilege, mate. This is white privilege. You get sentenced to fraud, you defrauded investors, you lied to patients, and look what the judge says to you in the sentence. The judge referred to Holmes as a brilliant entrepreneur and told her failure is normal, but failure by fraud is not okay. Imagine calling somebody a brilliant entrepreneur for one business that they founded. Isn't an entrepreneur that you have to do, you have to have multiple businesses or be, I'm sure that's what the definition of an entrepreneur is, right? Or is it just running one business? Let me look that up quickly now. Let's look up entrepreneur. I'm pretty much sure it's other businesses, or am I mistaken? Let's see what the Mac says here. Entrepreneur. Is it many businesses, or is it being an expert in one? Or is it being just a business, you know, owner? Let's see what it says. Oh, come on. Why is it taking so long? Boom, 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 boom. My computer's running like an absolute. Okay, there we go. Dictionary. Entrepreneur. A person who sets up a business or businesses taking a financial risk in the hope of profit. Okay. It's fucking hell. Damn it. I went to dunk on that word. But entrepreneur can also mean business or businesses. It's not just, okay, whatever. Let's continue. Failure is normal, but failure is not okay. He questioned whether her scheme was influenced by intoxication with fame. Wow. I love that term, man. Intoxication with fame. Interesting. And described her case as a cautionary tale for other Silicon Valley executives. No, it isn't, because right after her came the guy that did WeWork, or around the same time. No one cares. There's no cautionary tale in startups. People fake it until they make it, and usually when they make it, no one remembers the fake stuff. At the moment now, there's people trying to leak evidence that they have that Elon Musk might not be as smart as people think he is in terms of education. He maybe didn't go to certain colleges, maybe doesn't have certain degrees, he maybe didn't study certain courses, and it all may be true, but it doesn't matter now because he's Elon Musk. So that fake it till you make it thing, it served him right, because once he made it, all that stuff that you fake till you make it doesn't matter anymore because you made it now. You can just shush people. You got your sycophants. You got your friends in the media, friends in the business. It just doesn't move. So the fake it till you make it unfortunately works, and they know it. That's why they keep doing it. She was required to surrender to begin her serving a sentence on the 27th of April. Holmes and Ramesh Sunny BRYAN, her former partner and lover, were charged in 2018. Oh yeah, what did he get? Did BRYAN get charged yet? Prosecutors requested that she face 15 years. 800 million restitution to investors, including several high-profile figures such as U.S. Secretary of Affairs James Mattis, who testified against her in trial, and software tycoon Larry Ellison. Is that her with her new snapshot shown in court? Holmes enjoying her freedom since her conviction in June. Damn. So what they're trying to say, because she got convicted in June and she was enjoying her life in between, that she was taking the piss. To be fair, if you got convicted in June and you know you're going to go to prison, you should be taking these pictures in it. You should be spending as much time as possible with your loved ones and enjoying your freedom, especially if you're pregnant. Like, you should be enjoying yourself because you don't know how it could go to in sentencing. So this makes sense. These are all really scenic places that she's clearly going to. But I guess I'm assuming she would be, imagine she has to give birth just before she goes to prison. How brutal is that? That is brutal. So she got to be separated of her baby, like, you know, newborn baby, from the minute it's born all the way until she comes out. So she potentially might miss the first 11 years of her flipping child's life. Yaza Maga. They argued that hers was one of the most substantial white collar offenses in Silicon Valley or any other district that has seen. Sorry. But Holmes' defense team, who claimed she was well intentioned and trying to help people, said she should spend 18 months under house arrest. Of course they would say that. That's a good defense team. The judge on Friday determined that she actually caused 121 million in losses to investors, including Rupert Murdoch, the family that owns Walmart and CEO of Wells Fargo Bank. The amount she'll be required to repay will be determined at a later court hearing. That might be the real reason why she actually went to prison, right? Because she screwed over people like what's his name? James Mattis, who's a what? Who's a flipping former U.S. Secretary of Defense. She screwed over Robert Murdoch, you know, software tycoon Larry Ellison, like crazy people with absolute influence, clout, leverage, whatever it may be called. So they probably put the screws in and said, no, she must serve some time. We need to get our money back also. Over 100 friends and family and former friends and employees wrote to a judge to appeal for clemency. Really? Among those pleading for a light sentence were 2020 presidential candidate and New Jersey Democrat Senator Cory Booker, who wrote that Holmes could, despite mistakes, make the world a better place. Oh my God. Imagine writing an appeal letter for her, man. Cory Booker, what are you doing, you idiot? The group noted that Holmes is a young mother. She had her son in July 2021 and is currently pregnant with her second child. Jesus Christ. It's not known when she's due to give birth. Her law is expected to try to keep her from entering prison until the baby is born. If she has to give birth in prison, there are 2 residential programs offered by the Federal Department of Prisons, according to Mercury News. However, neither is located in California. The facilities allows mothers to live with the babies in prison for up to 30 months. Her partner, Belly Evans, is in sentencing memo to the court, told the judge that he fears for a future of which my sons grow up with a relationship with his mother on the other side of a glass, armed by guards. Well, she shouldn't have scammed people then, innit? Incarcerated parents are searched thoroughly before limited visits with their children that permit physical contact. Prisoners have to wait in long queues and pay steep fines to call family members over the phone. Wife of Ferno's former chief scientist, who died by suicide in 2013 after telling technology did not work, continued to blame Holmes for her death. Yeah, imagine you caused the suicide of one scientist. Like, you deserve to be thrown under the prison. Rochelle Gibbons, a widow of Ian Gibbons, said in January that she got a little satisfaction from Holmes' conviction. Satisfaction in knowing that she's going to suffer, because believe me, I've suffered and Ian suffered. She has shown no remorse for any of the things she has done. Nothing. Crazy, innit? Crazy, man. Jesus Christ, brother. The youngest self-made billionaire at one point, and now you're spending 11 years in prison, and you're just, you know, you're newly pregnant. Like, God almighty. But yeah, she probably deserves more, man. Honestly, she probably deserves more. But I'm just surprised she got some time in jail or some time in actual federal prison, which is crazy. And I read she probably has to do up to 85% of the sentence. So it's not like she can come out after a year. She'll still serve a substantial amount of that sentence. So, you know, That's what you get for scamming people, innit? Oh, what am I doing? What am I taking off the screen for? Oh yeah, to read the chat. What are you guys saying in the chat? You better fly to Belize quick before she get him. Yeah, true. Maybe I should ask Jay what people are saying here. But how did she convince anyone that this was legit? She'd never call it. No, it's Uche says this. But how did she convince anyone that it was legit? Like she'd have to have her peer-reviewed research to back it up. You're telling me. I don't know, man. I don't know. These startup people and their money are easily separated. Easily separated. Let's continue this and let's talk about. Oh, let's go to this here. Let's go straight into the show. Let's go straight in and start talking about the comedy stuff. So, little update. Little update. So, do you remember I was talking before about Theo Vaughn and the King and Sting? And I had my theories as to why he left. I think one of my theories I had was that I felt like maybe Theo Vaughn felt like he was between a rock and a hard place in terms of the drama occurring between Brendan Schaub and Bobby Lee. Then I said, oh, maybe he just didn't like the show and it was taking too much of his time and he didn't, know how to say no because he doesn't like confrontation, blah, 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 blah. Many theories kind of threw out there. But now, when I was listening to the first part of Theo Vaughn interviewing Ari Shaffir, which has been really good. By the way, I haven't watched Ari Shaffir's special yet, but so far, I've watched like 3 of his podcast appearances and he has absolutely smashed them out of the park. Like he has done really well promoting his flipping special and really brought the fucking funnies on the podcast interviews. And I think a lot of people are saying the same thing. Like people actually like him now. He's come across really likable, really personable on these podcast appearances. So definitely check him out on all these shows that he's on. But I haven't flipping checked it out yet, but people are saying it's really good. Yeah, you see, even Yonjio is saying the special is good. So Ari Shaffir and Theo Vaughn are talking, and now there's a different theory as to why Theo Vaughn may have left King of the Sting. It wasn't anything that I hypothesized or theorized out there. A completely different reason, which is burnout. He might have just got burnt out in terms of doing too many shows, doing too much content, and he just needed to pull back and just focus on the stuff that he was doing his own tours and stuff going forward. And he kind of talks about it with Ari Shaffir because Ari, I guess, was also going through the same thing in terms of burnout. So very interesting, insight from Theo here. And yeah, pretty interesting, right? I didn't actually think ever that I would hear him saying it was to do with burnout. I legitimately thought he was annoyed at Brendan, or he just didn't like the show anymore, or he just felt bad because he's Bobby Lee's friend and it looked like he was siding with Brendan by doing the show with him and stuff. But I guess in general he just was getting burnt out. But that makes sense because if I remember correctly, I haven't listened to This Past Weekend in a while or been on the subreddit, but I do remember seeing a few times in the last 2 years or so a lot of people complaining that he was cancelling shows. So they'd buy tickets on his tour and then he just cancelled out of the blue. I think there's a time that Tim Dillon was doing it also. They just kept cancelling. And I think a couple of times there might have been some rumors about COVID, but then some people just found out that, he just, was in the mood and didn't really feel like doing it. Or he basically, stretched himself too thin and he couldn't fulfill some of the dates and he was in a bad place, blah, 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 which is why maybe he started that whole ketamine treatment thing that he was doing, which is quite interesting. But what Ari said there was pretty interesting about how the comments on Theo when he basically maybe announced it. I don't know when that happened, but I guess the comments were like quite encouraging and quite supportive in that, yeah, take your time, we'll be here when you come back. That's always been the case when it comes to people who make content, because all these guys, they are stand-up comedians, I know, but in general I think a lot of their fame mostly comes from maybe their money. And maybe the majority of the money comes from stand-up. I'm not doubting that. You do a weekend in a good location, you sell out tickets, you sell all the tickets, you could probably make, I don't know, near 50 grand or something, which is way more than you're gonna make on one video. But I feel like they're way more famous because of their podcast. So if that's the case, then people on YouTube and content creators, they take breaks all the time. And for the most part, if you got someone that you like, that you follow, you don't mind waiting for them when they come back so you can watch their video. Like you will not about wait, but when they put a video out, you're definitely going to check it out. It's not like you're going to be sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for them to upload, but when you see a new upload for them, you're going to straight away click it. So this idea that you have to keep feeding the algorithm, it doesn't necessarily exist, in my opinion. I don't think that's actually a thing. I think especially if you're a big enough content creator and you've got a big enough library of stuff and you do other appearances, you should be pretty much decent. You should be okay to take a break and basically recover and kind of go back to your drawing board or do the thing you should do to recharge. I think I've got a super chat here. It's going to come through in a minute because my thing's super delayed. I don't know why. But I feel like a lot of these guys are just addicted to the flipping, to the race. They're addicted to the hustle. And some of them also clearly don't really enjoy being at home. They don't really like being a family man and hanging out with the kids, hanging out with the wife. And being a stand-up comedian is a perfect cover for a person who doesn't necessarily want to be at home and wants to be out there living life and kind of, you know, having that Peter Pan thing where you're not really accepting that maybe time has left you by and you're not maybe the guy that you once thought you were. That's what kind of stand-up kind of does some of them. There you go, super chat. Thank you, and Joy1 for the $1 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So I honestly think that happens a lot with these people. I really do think they have this thing where I think that a lot of them have this thing where, oh yeah, later, I see people saying later, Jess, peace, Jess. Hope you have a good day, my love. Hope you have a good day. I think a lot of these guys really and truly just are addicted to the hustle, and some of them probably addicted to the money. I'd imagine the money side of things as well could be super addictive because you're picking up these 50,000 checks or 30 or 10, even if it's 20, even if it's 5 every weekend. All you need to do is add the maths and be like, hold on, do the maths in your head and be like, hold on, if I do 6 dates in a row, or if I do like a 4-month tour, how much could I make? And it suddenly starts to make sense, especially if you add on top of that doing content anyway, doing some vlogs, doing some guest appearances in other podcasts. It can suddenly go up and up and up. So I can understand why it can be really addictive. And of course, if you've got a family, you can do the whole cover of like, I'm doing it for my family, I'm doing it to provide a better life for them. If I don't work, they don't eat. You do that whole thing, that whole front. So it can give you an excuse to basically not be at home with your family and stuff, which they basically need you to do. Because a lot of these guys talk about how they're always on the road and they have bad relationship with their wives or with their kids and stuff. And it's really unfortunate because they have the privilege of essentially working, working on their own schedule. They can do what they please. They can record when they want. Some of them have a schedule, I know, but they can basically create a life for themselves that kind of work to their benefit. Like Joey Diaz says all the time, right? He spends Sundays at home all the time. You can do tours from Wednesday to flipping Saturday and spend the rest of your time with your family. It's not difficult, but I think a lot of them are addicted to the hustle, a lot of addicted to the money, and most of them, I think, also don't necessarily like being at home. What are people saying here? Do I really think it's 50k per weekend? It says PCLA, the LAOW or 8, sorry. Yeah, definitely. I've heard them say that. I've heard someone mention before that it's anywhere between 10 to 50 for a weekend, which makes sense, which is why a lot of the big ones tour so much. But Darko just says, yeah, big name comedians, definitely, yep, for sure. Uche says, I did the math earlier today because the Leah sold 6,200 seats the other weekend, and if each ticket is $50, oh my god. I randomly did the maths today because Crystal Leah sold 6,200 tickets. Seats, sorry, the other weekend, and if each ticket was $50, that's over 300,000 for 2 shows alone. Now again, he's not going to get that clean, we know that. He's going to have to bust that down with his agent, manager. There's probably a fee to hire the place or whatever else they do. There's some sort of split, but let's say a reasonable amount. Let's be considerate. Minimum he's going to get is 100 grand. Minimum, right? Even if it's 60, 50, 70, 80, 90, he's gonna get minimum probably 100 grand. It makes sense why these guys burn themselves out a little bit. It does make sense why they burn themselves out. And then also imagine a lot of these guys, especially if they got popular podcasts, they're probably selling way more tickets than they would do if they were just straight up comedians, because they have other fans. They have fans from shows they were on. Some of them, they do shows like, you know, maybe that was on a TV show, they may have done a movie, but most of them have podcast fans and stand-up comedy fans. So you've got 2 sets of people coming out to see you. That's a lot of people. And if you're popular, you can actually sell tickets. Look at the arenas that Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan do every time. Tom Segura does, Bert does. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't include merch sales. Like, these guys make dough. So I understand how you can get burnt out if you're a comedian, because the rat race or the hustle is so addictive, because the gains, the rewards are so amazing. like legitimately amazing. That's life-changing money. You're making 100 grand per weekend. That's not including whatever you make on AdSense on YouTube, merch. As thinking Uche mentioned, I don't know, other appearances on other shows, maybe movie projects, TV stuff. Like the money can start adding up really, really, really quickly. So it makes sense. Because I remember actually recently, wasn't it Brendan said recently on the Fire and a Kid? I think somebody tried to make a joke. Oh, I didn't know you were still doing comedy. And I think he mentioned, yeah, comedy is my main money earner, which makes sense. Right, even though Brendan's got like he does like 4 podcasts and stuff, still the main thing that makes the majority or that covers the majority of his kind of bills would definitely be from comedy for sure. And he's not even that good, right? He's not good, and he's still. I'd bet you Brendan, being as crap as he is a stand-up, he's probably still getting 10K a weekend, easy. I'm saying minimum, not the max. Probably gets more than that, but he's probably getting minimum per weekend 10K, 100%. And some of these rooms he's not filling. Some of these places he's going to play at, they're giving out free tickets. They're doing buy one get one free at DABABY. It's not even like he's moving tickets or really selling places out. He's not, but still he probably gets 10K. But the issue with that is, I would imagine if you're a promoter, or if you're a club and you book someone like a Brendan and you think he's going to sell tickets because he's famous on podcasts or because he's friends with Joe Rogan, then he doesn't sell tickets, but you have to pay him still. The issue with that kind of system is that you run out of clubs to basically hustle, or to, it's not a scam, but you run out of clubs to hustle, where you basically take their money up front, you promise you're going to sell tickets, you don't sell tickets, but then you still perform the show, you know what I mean? So then they won't book you again because they know you're not going to sell the tickets, or you're not going to be able to fulfill the dates. So it's a bit of a weird situation to be in. So ultimately you need to get more fans, which is probably why he's putting out so many clips. That might explain why he's putting out so many clips. That might explain why he's actually trying to gain a new audience and gain new fans, because you need to have more people coming to your shows and attending them to make it make sense. I'd imagine you have to have it happen to make sense. And talking about that, actually, talking about his stand-up, let's actually play a new clip, because there's a new clip out that I haven't watched. I'm going to be watching it in real time with you guys to see what the deal is. So let's see. Because there's a new stand-up clip that Brendan put out that I want to check out and see what the deal is. What you just saying here? I saw Bill Burr. What you say? I saw Bill Burr like at the Rocket Mirage Arena where the Cavs play, and it was practically sold out. Oh my God! Can you imagine? Excuse me. Let's get this up on here. What is it? Rocket Mirage Arena capacity. Let's see how these guys are doing. These guys are eating well, mate. These guys are eating well. Oh my God. Bill Burr is moving close to 20,000 tickets. Holy shit. Holy shit. Yo, this is wild. Bill Burr's a flipping beast. Imagine. It must be so weird, isn't it, to be a stand-up, to be on stage telling jokes and then look out and see close to 20,000 people staring at you talking to a microphone. Oh, that must. But that's why I said beforehand, I think I mentioned in another stream, I understand now. No, I think I said in another stream that I have sympathy for comedians who are low level and don't make a lot of money and get jealous, because I think Neil Brennan was on the Joe Rogan Experience and he was talking about this other comedian that they know who's complaining that, or he's really upset that some of his openers are really entitled and are basically making him feel bad because he sells a lot of tickets and whatnot. And I was saying, no, I understand the jealousy in the comedy scene. I understand why these guys are so catty and they stab each other in the back, because imagine if you're playing at some arcade somewhere, right? You're on a stage in an arcade, you're playing in a strip mall, legitimately. You're playing in a bar where there's music playing whilst you're doing stand-up comedy, and you're playing to a crowd of 10 people, 12, maybe 6. And then you look on your Instagram and you see flipping Bill Burr uploading a video of himself telling jokes to 20,000 people in a flipping arena. Like I can understand why you'd be jealous. I get why you'd be jealous. I'd get why you'd be like saying stuff about him, spreading false rumors, being entitled if he tries to give you a show, expecting the world, asking for money. I'd get why you'd be like that. It's obviously not beneficial. It's not advantageous. You should obviously learn lessons from this, because if Bill Burr can do it, he's a human like you. You should be able to do it also. But I understand, because there's no, like I said before, the disparity in the arts is crazy. The disparity, but I think more so in comedy. I think someone said it here, PC, how am I going to say your name? P. Kalau said, yeah, the same in all arts. I don't think it's the same in all arts. I think comedy specifically is really crazy, the disparity. You could go from being somebody that does open mics, somebody that performs in bars or like small arenas, small clubs, and then you go for someone that performs in arenas and stuff. The gap is too big between the person that does comedy clubs and the person that does arenas, the money wise. And I don't think the skill is that different. So for instance, the guy who's playing in comedy clubs and killing it now is probably as funny as a Bill Burr, just not as famous. That's basically it. It's just to do with that. Like, they could be the same time in comedy, they could be the same level even comedy, not even like better or not better, whatever it may be. They could be about the same level of funny, but the money that they make, the disparity is just too high, which definitely explains why a lot of them are so catty and so backstabby and snaky with each other. It makes a lot of sense. And then you got your agent in your ear, you got your wife telling you that, you know, that guy's crap, how come you can't buy me this, buy me that? You got the pressure of your friends, your kids are not doing, like, honestly, I get why a lot of them are really catty. It makes a lot of sense. It's obviously bad because I don't think poverty or scarcity mindset works, especially not in comedy, because everybody makes money. It doesn't mean you'll have to make the same amount of money, but they all make some version of money, which is pretty decent, I think. Oh, big up M Lad Den
Have
K.
a pint on me.
Brilliant. I appreciate you, M Lad Den K. Thank you for the $10, my friend. I shall have 2 pints on you, maybe 3, because Berlin is very, very cheap. You know what I mean? You can get quite a lot for $10. So I might even be able to get a doner kebab and a beer. Thank you so much, my friend. But yeah, man, like 19,000. Jesus Christ, Bill Burr. You are an absolute killer, my friend. Congratulations to you. But Bill Burr's always been my favorite anyway. But I actually got the inspiration to start my podcast, especially, you know, doing this solo, because of Bill Burr, because I love his solo podcast is one of the best out there. He legitimately can hold your attention for, you know, I think he does it basically for half an hour, the first bit, then he has reruns of old episodes, but he can hold your attention properly for half an hour, have you laughing. Obviously, I'm not, you know, sharing jokes as much as he is, because, you know, he's a legitimate comic and I'm just a random dude, but he's always been my guy, man. I'm always been a big fan of Bill Burr. He's really, really funny. I love him. I love him. I love him. Let's continue. So let's go back to the Brendan Schaub clips. There's a new stand-up clip that you put out here. Obviously, these have been done more high level of frequency to probably capitalize on the love-hate that he got from Gringo Pappy, and also probably to get new fans, because he probably needs them, I would assume. Especially when you put out a special that maybe widely received as negative, you probably need to remind people, no, I'm improving, I'm getting there. And then ultimately, even though these are bad, I think it's good that he's putting them out, because for the longest time, he would never put out clips. He was kind of afraid to put clips out. It doesn't matter, because even if you don't have any clips out there, people are still going to know if you're funny or not, because people go to your shows and they're going to report back. Do you know what I mean? It's going to happen. It's going to happen for sure. So make sure that you just put the clips out there in general. I think that's a better way to do things. Oh, there's a super chat coming through too. Where are you? Big up Donald Dump.
Agostinho, I'm a fashion pattern maker for a living. Can I send you samples for some feedback? I respect your opinion.
Yeah, of course, Donald Dump. For sure. Definitely. Reach out to me on Instagram. DM me and we can talk. For sure, you can send me things for feedback. Happy to help, my friend. You're always here in the streams and being, what's that word called? Being nice to the super chats, which you don't have to do. So, of course, willing to help anywhere I can, my friend. So, DM me on Instagram. So, yeah, let's check out Brendan Schaub's new stand-up bit, and let's see how many of you in the chat laugh, okay? Let's see. And it's the first time I'm seeing it too, so let's see how we laugh. Let's see if this is good. Come on, Brendan. Please be good. Please have one good joke in there. Please. Come on, guy. Come on. Don't disappoint me.
I do like Texas, though. I would trade my governor for your Governor Abbott. I don't agree with his abortion stuff. It's like, how is he going to have an opinion on abortion when his wiener doesn't work? You can't even have sex, bro. Why are you chiming into this thing? You're not getting invited to the orgy, Mr. Abbott. He's like the kid off Game of Thrones that read the future, right? Where's your Hodor, man? My only problem with him is, you know how he got paralyzed, right? A giant oak tree fell on him. Terrible tragedy. You ever seen an oak tree fall fast? No! No! God, no! Why me? No! Move out the way, bitch! Also, if you don't like him, easiest politician of all time to assassinate. Easy. He's in a wheelchair, Texas. With the Houston traffic? It's so easy. Mr. Governor, nice to meet you. Traffic. Game over. I do like Texas, though.
Wow. 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 I don't know what to say. I don't know where to say. Wow. We have Greg Abbott wheelchair jokes in 2022. Greg Abbott wheelchair jokes in 2022. That's what we're doing right now. What next? Is he gonna do those jokes about is he gonna do the jokes about Thingamajiggy? What's his name? The Wiener guy. Remember that guy, that politician, that American one? What's his name? Wiener, who got caught flipping sending nudes to people and stuff, whatever it may be. Are we gonna do jokes on him now? We're gonna do jokes on that Canadian, was it mayor or president who flipping was doing crack and too much coke, and I think he had a heart attack or something. The fat guy. Are we gonna do jokes about him? He was a meme for a while politically. We're gonna do memes about that Democrat dude who was pictured holding his hands on some lady's tits or something. He got cancelled for that. Remember? I think it was one of the first during the cancel culture thing to get flipping cancelled. Are we gonna do jokes about him also? Really? Oh my! So expect to hear jokes about flipping. What's her name? Who's that old lady with the massive melons that everyone keeps talking about? That politician woman. Expect to hear jokes about her next year. Everyone's trolling about that stuff, right? So expect to hear a meme about that lady next year. Why is he so late on these jokes? Greg Abbott jokes in 2022, people. Yeah, that's it. Nancy Pelosi. We're gonna hear Nancy Pelosi jokes next year. Best believe you're gonna hear Nancy Pelosi jokes about her breasts, jokes about her husband or something, and that break-in thing that happened with him. We're gonna hear about that next year. We're gonna hear about Nancy Pelosi jokes and her husband next year. I guarantee you. Trust me. Remember this stream. We're gonna hear it next year. Oh my God, that was shockingly bad. I wonder though, I really do wonder. I wonder, do you think this stuff is better in person? Do you think he's the type of person who legitimately you have to see live? Like you see him like this, he has to be better. Like it has to be done live, because if you see it recorded, it just doesn't hit the same. Surely it has to be better live, innit? I have to give him some grace. He can't be this bad. Yo, big up Courtney Kemper. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, brother. I appreciate you, Courtney. I appreciate you. What do you guys think? I think it must be better in real life, right? Please, it has to be better in real life. Imagine paying $20, $30 to see this. Plus whatever. Because I remember I went to Laugh Factory in California that time. When I went to see Crystalia perform. Was that 2017, 2016? I forgot what year it was. I remember this being a thing, which I didn't know. In comedy clubs, or in Laugh Factory anyway, and Comedy Store, you pay for your ticket, and also they make you pay for 2 drinks. So you have to pay like, is it called covers? What's it called? What's that thing called? I don't know. You pay for your ticket, and then they make you pay for 2 drinks when you sit down. So it kind of adds up, you know. It's not like a cheap night out, like go to a comedy club. Then obviously you're boozing, you're getting on it. You might want to, you know, get some chicken fingers and some, you know, some potato wedges and shit. All that might have to happen as well. You might want to buy some merch or whatnot. It's not the most cheapest night out in the world. So to spend like $50 to $100 and hear this type of comedy, interesting. Very interesting. Wow, man. Wow. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Chris Mack said it. It's called cover charges with drink minimums. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Sorry. My bad, it's not token. You're right, Chris Mack. You pay for your ticket. I remember you have a 2 drink minimum. You have to buy, and they you know the good thing about the drinks though is that the waitress come around to your table and they bring the drinks to you, which is pretty cool because we don't really have that culture here in the UK. You have to always go to the bar to get your drink. So to be sitting down watching some comedy, have someone bring your drink, is quite nice. Do you know what I mean? So you just get lit on the table and absolutely get spun. But I wonder if this stuff is better live. It must be better live. It has to be better live because I can't imagine this being. I can't imagine that this is just this bad and he keeps getting booked to play places. So, but also let me be fair too. I'm just thinking about it now. There must be loads of comics out there that perform on a weekly basis that aren't good, that just get booked to play places because people just need entertainment. Right, clubs need people to perform. People need distractions and need to go places and take dates and hang out. So if you're in comedy for a certain amount of time, you probably just get booked because you're just around, not because you're good, just because you just exist, right? Like Jesse L saying, nope, just as bad. Saw Papa a few ago at a festival, and he was just as bad, and he was using ghostwriters at the time. Oh yeah, that was the time during You'd Be Surprised, isn't it? When he was actually using writers. So he was, yeah, that's the hilarious part about it. He was legitimately using writers then and still bad. Now he's doing it on his own and bragging about it, because I remember he said on one show that people think that people write his jokes. No one thinks that, mate. No one's thinking that. And he's still as bad now. So it's pretty amazing, man. Like, wow. I'm actually impressed of how bad that was. I'm not going to lie. I can't believe he's joking about Greg Abbott in 2022. Being in a wheelchair. It's like, okay, cool, man. What, did he just find out Greg Abbott exists like the other day or something and googled why he's in a wheelchair like everyone else did like many years ago when he came on the political circuit? Like, I can't believe this dude, man. But yeah, that was hard to watch. Not the funniest and pretty brutal. It'll be funny if the next special he puts out in a couple of years is just as bad as Gringo Pappy, because I said beforehand people didn't believe me and people were like, oh, arguing, or no, people are arguing mostly on the Reddit about it. But I think I said before that I legitimately don't think Gringo Pappy is that much better than You'd Be Surprised. If anything, You'd Be Surprised is better because he seemed legitimately excited to do the show. Like, he seemed hyped, like he was on a big stage, he had that lights behind him, it was a Showtime deal, sold out, like he was pumped to do that show. Even though the jokes weren't good, he actually exuded like confidence, like he was really giving it. But Gringo Pappy was like ultra depressing to watch, like compared to You'd Be Surprised. And the jokes were terrible. But at least with You'd Be Surprised, it was actually close to an hour, it was a production, do you know what I mean? It was properly done. Delusion Toaster says his 15 minutes are almost are over. No, I don't believe that. I think he's going to be here for a long time. There's many people who are way worse than him who still have a career. So if they can do it, he can do it. Especially if he has a podcast also. He's always going to have fans that are going to want to come out and chill. So Charles F. said, Greg, I was in a wheelchair. Oh my God. Oh my God. Andy's VTA says, I've seen him live about 4 years ago on Rogan and Friends. Wow, man. Wow. That's what I said before. I think he's worse because he performs alongside good people. What are you doing on a lineup with Rogan and Friends? You have no business being there, but he was there because he was at that time close with Rogan, so it made sense. But if I was him and I was that bad or I was that green in comedy, I would never perform on a lineup with Rogan and Friends. You have no business being there. You're just going to look terrible because you have to step up and perform. You know what? Who's handing the mic to you? Fucking Bill Burr. Who's handing the mic to you? Like fucking Bobby Lee or something, or whatever, Ari Shaffir, like, come on, man. Like, it makes no sense. You're setting yourself up for failure. But, you know, actually the comments are quite forgiving, innit? Let's look at the comments. The comments look pretty good. I think the comments, people don't agree with us on here on the stream. I think people in the comments really like this stuff. Let's see what they're saying. Bruh, you're legit getting better with every clip. Well done. Okay, I guess. LOL, thank you for bringing comedy back to this level. Dark arts. Have you ever seen an oak tree fall fast was legit a good line. The improvement has been observable. What? No way is he flipping literally impressed about the oak tree falling fast line. Like, sorry, oak tree falling fast. I said fast. What? I think the dong still works if you're paralyzed. Good show Thursday. Did you handle those hecklers at the meet and greet? LOL. Okay, cool. Big Brown, I guarantee you won't respond. Cap. Did he respond? Let's see. Did Big Brown respond? Did Big B shop? Yeah, he did. There we go. I was bet. Oh, God. And just like that, you ain't welcome in Texas. Is he replying to everything now? I thought he doesn't use social media. Oh, the big liar. I thought he doesn't use social media. I didn't see it. I'm not on social media. I don't see social media. I didn't see social media. Now look at him. I thought you don't use social media, brother. What is this? If Brendan doesn't run it, if Brendan doesn't run or check his IG like he claims, then who or why is there somebody replying to the comments? Exactly. Exactly. Bringing the heavy dark stuff to Texas approves. Texan approves. When the shrooms kick in but the oak tree is falling. No. Oh, hell no. What? The people cut trees when they're on shrooms. Why is that funny? Yo. Maybe that's why he's funny though, because he's got fans that like that kind of humor. That's what he's actually figured out. He's found a niche. He's found fans that like the type of humor that he does. Shrooms cutting a tree. Anyway, whatever. Spent months and months following his campaign. Finally see him in a wheelchair. I'm like, oh, that's why it makes total sense now. You get a pass. Yo, there's some 62 IQ people in this fan base, isn't it? God. The kid of Game of Thrones rules everything in the end, so who is the real whiner in the end? Geez, the assassination bit, LMFAO. Hey Brendan, one less Texan fan, bro. It's not that I'm offended, it's just that you're not funny. You see? Look at that misdirection. Look at that. Look at how good that was. Look at that genuine misdirection. That was awesome. Hey Brendan, one less Texan fan, bro. It's not that I'm offended, it's just that you're not funny. That was brilliant. I'm paralyzed and my dick works, kinda. That's funny. LMAO Schaub, Fawn, 2024, not the Houston traffic. Man, I wish I could have made it to SA and watch you for the 4th time. Keep it up. This guy is married with kids and he's watching Brendan 4 times. Yo, hang with your family, brother. It looks like you got a newborn baby there. Look after that cute baby and look after that wife, brother. You shouldn't be seeing people like that 4 times. Really? Not one liberal is going to be triggered by this clip because it's a Republican governor. Okay. This clip is gold. If you didn't find this funny, then you're absolutely broken. We're broken, by the way. According to this person, we're broken. We are broken. Yeah, nah, they call you Big Brown for a reason. Big Okay, there's some good one. This is silly. That's dumb. I don't know why it's dumb, but that's really dumb. And they got me. They call you Big Brown. So stupid, but it made me laugh. Bruh, you're getting legit better. Okay, another one. No, same ones. Wow, okay. What's happening? Did they not load properly? Oh, true. Someone said they're all being deleted, innit? Maybe they just go through and delete all the negative comments. Literally all of them. LOL, funny stuff. Another one. New fit is fire. Traffic push. New fit is fire, you know. He's wearing a cardigan and combat pants, bruv. Is that really a good fit? Doesn't the cardigan have like a heart on the back of it as well? Funny as fuck, always improving, love to see it. Always improving is like a backhanded compliment, isn't it? Can we agree that always improving is a backhanded compliment? You're getting better and better. This is getting good. I can see the improvement. Like, what? Don't tell me you can see the improvement. Either give me, you know, props or just keep it moving or double tap. Don't say you can see the improvement. That's bad. Damn, bro, you roasted my governor. Take it back. Maybe take his schlong out of your mouth, innit, first. Then he'll take the joke back. God almighty, bro. Did he reply to that? Of course he replied, right? What did you like? There we go. He looks, exactly. Look at that. He loves his fans, innit? Like, actually loves his fans. This one's got his schlong in his mouth and he's on demon time. God almighty. Was there for the late show and it was flame. Such a good time. Lot of dudes, innit? Guy's got a lot of dudes, bro. It's a bro fest out there. All the bros. I didn't laugh even once. I like your new, more brutal style. Keep it up. Brutal style. Says a lady with a snapback hat on, way, way too low. She probably breakdances as well, innit? You know those breakdance girls, you know? They're always into a bit of funny, they're into some funny type of humor. The girls that wear like, you know, fanny packs and like to breakdance or freestyle in their way. Or freestyle dance. Like, those are dodgy ladies to be. Somebody here has a bodybuilder said, oh, that's got a bodybuilder Abby. That's a dope watch. Vancouver soon. The funniest thing I've heard from you. Keep it up, from Texas. See? That's a backhanded compliment. This seems like a sneak diss. To me, this is a sneak diss. The funniest thing I've heard from you. Keep it up. So in all these years doing comedy, nearly 10 years, the funniest thing you think is an edited clip. An edited 1-minute clip from a stand-up routine that he did recently. That's the funniest thing you've seen from him. The boy's getting better with the star eyes. What did he do? Did he do demon time too? Or did he put a flipping aubergine sign there? That he wants to fuck his fans. Okay, fist up. White power. It's crazy that people spend hard-earned money to come watch you and not laugh. Okay, this is 5 hours ago. It's probably going to get deleted. We're watching Schaub grow into a comedy thing in real time. Oh my God, bruv. I get what they're doing. You know what they're doing? They're praising him so that he can come and like their comment or reply. I know what they're doing. They're fishing for approval from the comedian. Okay, I gotta admit, that's a good bit. Again, backhanded compliment. Sounds like a sneak diss. Haha, so good, I love it. Bro said his wiener don't work. That's funny. That requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 laughing, crying laughing emojis. Saying somebody's wiener doesn't work because they're flipping in a wheelchair. Okay. The Bee Sting, loved this show last weekend. Whoa, 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 slow down, you're a real big guy. He's on the wheels there. He's our guy. Funny shit. Okay, man. Okay, I guess, isn't it? Okay, what people saying in the chat. People telling you improve after doing it 7 years. Exactly, Coiler. Like, what? People telling you improving after 7 years. I hope so. Not getting better. Honestly, I'm over this. This is too much. Oh, what's that? Let's unlock this. But yeah. Insane. I don't know, man. Honestly, bro, like, your fit is fire, you know. These people, man, these fans are the worst. But anyway, let's continue. So, this is going to be a bit of a long one, so please strap in. But this is Tim Dillon talking to, what's his name? Yanis Pappas, about his beef with Amy Schumer. I didn't know they had a beef, and you're going to see the clip later, but I guess Tim Dillon was on Kill Tony, if I'm not mistaken, and he decided to make some jokes about Amy Schumer. She clearly didn't find them funny in the slightest, and she reached out allegedly to Tim Dillon and said in his DMs, do we have beef or something? They probably had a back and forth that probably didn't end well. So Tim decided to do what most comedians do, get on these podcasts and start flaming the lady, innit? It's quite hilarious. This is taken from the Patreon, so let's hear him talk about it. I think it's at the start. It should be around the start, but let's put it around here. Actually, let's put it on the screen first and then go this. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, someone said it here. Natasha Ski said here, Tim Dillon is annoying now. Huh. I'm seeing the tide turn on Tim Dillon, man. I'm seeing it turn. I'm seeing it on the sub. I'm seeing some of the comments on the Patreon. The tide is turning. I know a lot of people didn't really like him after the whole Ben Avery thing because a lot of people loved Ben. You know, it was unfortunate that he got fired or that he left in general because I think he added a lot to the show. But Tim's still a talent, so he's still funny, and I like his rants. But a lot of fans, a lot of people that like Tim Dillon are really turning against him lately. It's very interesting to see. Like in real time, people are like, nah, I'm not a fan of him anymore. Don't like his personality. Or maybe it's to do as well with the whole, him doing the whole copyright takedown or doing a strike on that channel that was criticizing him and shit. Too Lazy to Try, wasn't it, that YouTube channel? But a lot of people really don't like him. What Natasha Ski said, he was great when he was more up and coming and humble. Yeah, he's not. let's be honest, he's not humble now. He's definitely not. He drives a flipping Rolls Royce and eats in the best restaurants in the world. Like, he's not humble in the slightest. So let's see what he has to say anyway. Let me go around the start here, I think, is where they say it. Let's just play it from here.
Funny. Now, I did a few bad point. Yeah, like step on a guy's dick.
What's going on here?
Yeah. That's what it leads to.
Why is it doing that for?
Let me know when we're good. Yeah, we're good right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Patreon episode that I did where I pretended to be Amy as a joke.
Oh,
I couldn't say Thursday.
What's going on here? Stop it. Damn
probably Wednesday night, but I've been dealing with something here. Amy Schumer unhappy with me about the Kill Tony episode that I did where I pretended to be Amy as a joke.
I couldn't believe she was unhappy with it. I thought it was a flattering portrayal.
Giannis Papas is here. He's staying at my house in L.A., and he's here to defend me somewhat because I am a comedian, and I was only kidding, and I don't... She sent me a DM, and the DM was like, do we have a beef? Do you think I stole jokes? It's like, I'm just being a goof.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll defend you for that, but I will not defend you for the shack that you have me living in right now.
I know, it's a dump. What are you going to do?
Seriously. Yeah, I just, I don't understand where she's coming from. But I feel like she's working an angle.
Whatever it is, I just, listen.
Maybe she'll invite you to be in her next project.
Life and Beth 3?
Yeah.
I mean, good, listen.
It'll be the third reboot of her sketch show.
You said today... there's only what did you say about? You said there can only be one queen of Long Island.
There can only be one queen of Long Island, and that is Tim Dillon.
And that's just the reality.
There's a new queen in town. Sorry, babe.
I respect that she blazed the trail.
Yeah.
But now it's, but in all seriousness, if she hears this, there's no beef. I'm not going to respond to the
Not
DM.
if she hears it, when she hears it, because apparently she's listening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no beef. I don't care about the joke stuff. I don't really care. They weren't my jokes. I don't... it's whatever. This other people have certain feelings about it. Certain jokes seem real questionable. Others seem like anyone could have written them. I've never been a guy that knew her, and I don't care about her career really at all.
Yeah, I just am very curious as to, like, what is she doing? She's just Googling her own name on YouTube all day, waiting for whatever comes up?
Yeah, someone probably showed her.
Isn't she supposed to be talking to Jennifer Lawrence on the telephone?
I imagine she's supposed to be dealing with higher level people.
Hi, Amy.
It was...
I, unlike Tim, do know you. And I just want to say hi.
Well, here's the deal. I was at Kill Tony in the greatest city in the world.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
Republican Hollywood.
Where what a nice way to say it.
Yeah.
And I was down there and shut that air off. Sorry.
Okay.
It's the new producer.
Yeah.
Get the gun.
Yeah, just
point the gun at him.
Check this kid's bag. He's school shooter age.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the look. School shooters always have a look.
Are your parents liberal?
Not at all. My mom's dead.
Shit. So maybe
his dad does security.
Oh, so he's got access to a fire weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Firearm.
A few.
So the deal is I'm down there, and here's the reality. I go, it's a Halloween show.
Yeah.
Who am I going to be? Ali Wong?
You can't do that.
Who can't?
Yeah.
Who am I going to be? Tiffany Haddish?
No. Now, look, I'm not a typecaster, but I'm saying, yeah, I understand the decision that you made.
So
you can't be Rachel Feinstein.
Well, no one knows that. I
That's
love Rachel.
my point.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you got to do is you got to be a big comedian people have heard of.
Right. Here's a bone, Amy. One of the famous funny ones. There you go.
There it is.
There it is.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
Yes.
And I was her.
Right.
And I really didn't break character for the hour and a half.
No.
It is funny.
Right.
And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Very funny.
Now, I did a few bits about her as bits
Right.
that were not well received by her, but the audience liked them.
Right. Right. The audience liked them, and you wrote them, which is the point.
Well, here's the deal. The audience is young kind of comics, a lot of them, and people that are fans of Kill Tony, right? And
Yeah.
they're fans of what goes on. And, you know, the jokes we make, they're red meat, funny jokes that are, you know, everybody, there's something about everybody that can get ragged on.
Right. Right.
And it's not, I didn't invent that.
Why is everyone acting so imperious right now? You know, why are you taking yourself so seriously?
That's the thing. I didn't invent that.
Right.
Big up
I'm
TV
just
Hawk.
making fun of something that's already out there in the ether. And listen,
It's been suggested by a few 18-minute to 37-minute videos.
your beef's not with me.
It's not with you.
It's not with me.
No.
I always defended her because I'm a stan for Long Island.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get the point. So let's just actually play the clip because I haven't actually seen what he did on Kill Tony. But this is Tim Dillon on Kill Tony as Amy Schumer. This is what caused the whole entire beef. So let's see what was so offensive about this.
Our tonight's show. Guys, it's Halloween. I think you could do better than that. Are you guys ready for this shit? This podcast has never been stronger. It's never been better. And the accessibility to guests has never been more exciting. Tonight, one of the greatest comics on planet Earth is sitting at this table with us. For her first time on the show, make some noise for the one and only Amy Schumer! Yes!
That's a great entrance. Let's be real. That's a fucking great entrance. Say what you want about Tim. Say what you want about this show. But that's a brilliant entrance. Let's be real.
This is Kill Tony. The great Amy Schumer is here live in the...
Hey, yo, Timmy D is a unit, innit? Timmy D is a unit. God almighty, brother. He is not missing any meals, innit? For us. Holy smokes. He's massive, isn't he?
The great Amy Schumer is here live in the flesh. What a special treat. Here she is. The place is in shambles.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm here to collect some jokes.
Yes, indeed. You are going to be in for some tricks and some treats tonight.
Thank
Amy
you so much.
It's an honor to have you. Of
Yes.
course, you've been on the show. Actually, this is technically your first time, or your 19th, depending on how we
It's
look
my
at it.
first time, and my agent was very upset, but I said I can do this because Tony's a faggot.
That's true.
And yeah,
That's true.
and as soon as I found that out, I came running here with my huge pussy,
It really is.
my big rich pussy.
It really is incredible. Like,
Didn't Tim Dillon say on the Patreon show he doesn't know why she's upset? He said, I have no idea. I was just saying jokes. It's 2 minutes in. And he's called her a joke thief. And he says she has a big pussy. To be fair, it is still jokes. You should be a little bit less sensitive and just roll with it. It clearly shows somebody that's super insecure about, you know, maybe the accusation that she is a joke thief and that she's, you know, aggressively unfunny in general. But God almighty, this is kind of brutal. I'm not going to lie.
I can see it from here. It's a thing of beauty. Well, Amy, you might not know how it works, but you only get to collect 60 seconds of material from the people that come up here tonight. You guys know the 60 seconds is up and you hear the
before, and now I have a moped, so I think it's an upgrade, technically.
Okay.
What was that a cut? Yeah, that was a cut, right? Yeah, it was a cut.
You guys know the 60 seconds is up and you hear the
before, and now I have a moped, so I think it's an upgrade, technically.
Okay.
I return.
And when you say you're into bigger chicks, Hans, are we talking about like our guest here tonight?
First of all, I love Ali Wong. Thank you for coming.
Hans looking like he's coming fresh out of the Stampede this weekend, and how did that happen? Is that a South Korean thing?
Yeah, I mean, we don't value ourselves very highly, so we just stack ourselves into little alleyways.
Okie dokie. I love it, Hans. And what are you dressed as exactly here?
I'm Max from Where the Wild Things Are.
That's adorable.
Thank you.
I don't think I know what that is.
Yeah, you do.
It's a children's book. I mean,
They should not sell that costume to adults. Like the FBI should have taken your phone number when you bought that.
Hell yeah. What's his biggest hit?
Me, myself, and I.
I'm getting old over here, I guess. I don't know. Amy, anything else for this guy?
No, I am also Asian. And so everything you say makes sense to me. And I make my husband dress like that. So
This is all true. A lot to
Anyway, that's what the deal was. I completely understand why Amy Schumer's mad and angry, but you have to be able to laugh at yourself, young lady. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. You're one of the most famous, probably richest comedians out there, despite not being that funny, which is objective, but, you know, my opinion. Just laugh with the jokes. Plus, you're in a different tax bracket than these people. You're in Hollywood circles, politician circles, and influential circles. Just ride with the jokes and keep it moving. If anything, she's made it worse now. I'm talking about it. I'm pretty sure other people that cover these comedy things are going to talk about it. It's going to make it a much bigger issue than what it was. So, and also it shows that she's sensitive and she watches those things and lets it get to her, because people are now going to be trolling even harder to get a reaction out of her because she's a big person. So it was really dumb of her to flip and react to it, I think. It was really bad to react to it, personally. I think so. Anyway, I need to blow my nose quickly because my nose is leaking like an absolute sieve. Oh, yeah, that's lovely. Allergy gang, allergy gang, allergy gang, allergy gang. Awful. I'm currently doing this thing where I'm testing out how long I can survive without buying anti-allergy tablets, and so far it's not been successful, because most of the tablets that I buy, even the ones that are non-drowsy, they always make me drowsy, and I hate being drowsy. I want to be active and stuff, so that kind of hurts myself. I love people said I love it. Whenever I talk about my allergies and my nose leaking, everyone always thinks I'm on gear. Space Kite, Zinger with allergies in quotation marks. I love it. You guys don't believe me, innit? It's love, it's love, it's love. One day when I'm absolutely yacked on here, you'll see the difference. You will see the difference. You guys don't believe me, but it is what it is. Let's go with a bit. Let's run with it. I'm on here flipping, running away and doing a flipping line and coming back. That's a good one, Chris Mack. Aljanine. Algino, I love that. Allergino is a nice one. I'm gonna have to take that. I'm gonna have to rob that. Like, we saw that last week. Yeah, I was hyped that morning, mate. I was hype. But anyway, let's move on. Let's play this clip. If you were Bryan Callen's newly married wife, how upset would you be with this clip? please tell me. Anyone can answer this, male or female. How upset would you be if you just married this guy and you heard this clip?
I don't know. I don't know what love is really. You know, maybe love is, I mean, love is surrender, you know? Okay, but love changes. It just does. But truth, I like truth, man. I like.
What? You like truth, you don't like love. Excuse me? We just got married, sir. Like, honestly, these guys are incredible, innit? I don't know what love is. I don't know what love is. I want you to show me. Honestly, imagine hearing that. You're newly, you know, you're newly married. You're getting used to this married life, living together, new kid, new career prospects, a new life, blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe new home. I don't know what love is. God almighty, man. And this man's close to 60 as well. I wonder if that happens to dudes though in general. This must be like a thing with guys. Because I'm lucky I don't have that thing in me where I'm like chasing girls all the time. I know some guys have it. You know, I know some guys have those friends. I know I do. I have those friends who, if we're out and about talking, they can never be present because they're always looking at every woman that walks by. They're checking out every single person. They're like on it. They're active every single time. It's like they have a boner 24/7, right? It's absolutely scary. Like you know, when you're like 18, like no, you're like probably under 18 and you get rock hard boners in the worst places and you're like embarrassed and you're going through puberty and stuff and it's horrible. They're like that in adulthood. They just can't turn it off. So I think Brian Callen may be one of those guys that just can't turn off that kind of like, you know, that hunger. Do you know what I mean? So he can never be settled and never be comfortable and happy in a relationship and just be like, you know what, I've had my time, let me hang up my jacket and enjoy my wife life. Do you know what I mean? Or be like a, you know, be like a great husband or whatever, a great partner, a great father, and just like chill and speak glowingly about my wife every time her name comes up. Instead you get these little clips. I don't know what love is. Hopefully it's taken out of context and he's talking about something else in general, but I don't know, man. If I'm newly married and someone asks me about love, I'm going to be talking glowingly about my wife and say, yeah, man, honestly, when I met this lady, she changed everything for me. Life was like, you know, life was black and white. Then I married this lady and it became full color. Do you know what I mean? I'll be doing all that sort of soppy stuff. I wouldn't be saying, I don't know what love is. What is companionship? Why does it begin with a flipping C? I don't know. I wouldn't be doing all that stuff. I really wouldn't. I'd be trying my best to make it known that I'm happy in the relationship that I'm in. Not doing the complete opposite. But, you know, everyone's different. I guess everyone's different. But interesting clip nonetheless. Hopefully it works out for him regardless. He does look happy anyway because he's posting on social media. He didn't do that with his other wife. He kept her behind the scenes, it felt like, for the most part. Maybe she wanted to, she didn't want to be on social, but they clearly have a better time together. So clearly that's working out for them. So, you know, let it be what it is. Let it be what it is. Let's move on. We were saying here, Josie Masters is saying, well, the fact that he has kids and a new baby, he can't explain love. That's, oh, true. Josie Masters, good point. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about that at all. He didn't even mention his kids. You meant to have an unconditional sense of love with your kids, innit? He didn't even mention that. Oh my God, good point. Chris Max says exactly. Somebody else. Jack Cole says, wasn't it shotgun wedding? I don't think so. I think they're dating for a while. I think so. But I'm not too sure. Callen wears his heart on his sleeve so we can see how sick it is. True. Michael Jamal. Chris Max says he seems empty inside. Vacuous even. Yeah, true. To be fair, I think he was bad. I think he was bad before, but I honestly do think the cancellation just took it all out of him, because if you're a fan of T-Fat K, you'll know early episodes of T-Fat K, Brian was always really kind of sad, almost, that acting never... Yeah, no, this is what I'm going to say. Run it back. If you're a fan of early T-Fat K, you would have known that Brian was quite reluctant to go all in with T-Fat K in podcasting. He had his own podcast he was doing from time to time, but when T-Fat K blew up, I felt like he was a little bit resentful that this was the thing that blew him up and got him where he needed to get to in terms of fame. he didn't really like it because at the time, I reckon, when it was really popping off, he wasn't getting many acting jobs off the back of T-Fat-K. So T-Fat-K was really popular and stuff, but the acting stuff came quite late after when he started getting Goldbergs, and obviously he did Schooled, but it didn't really parlay into anything he went to because he never wanted to be a comedian, I don't feel like, or like a podcaster. He wanted to always be like an actor. That's his always dream, to be an actor and be famous for that, but that didn't work out, so he kind of had to do stand-up, and plus it came easy to him. I think it's one of those things in life, isn't it? Happens with sports people too, where you just happen to be talented, and or you happen to take to a sport really easily, but you don't love it. It happens all the time in other fields. So he obviously took well to flipping stand-up comedy, was obviously pretty decent when he first started, but he didn't really want to do it. He wanted to act and be an actor with a capital A. His agent famously told him that he was going to be the next Tom Hanks, which is horrible, right? Hollywood agents are the worst because that's not constructive, that's not helpful when you tell somebody they're going to be the next Tom Hanks, right? Because you're putting unnecessary pressure on them. Just let them be who they want to be. It didn't work out. He does the podcasting stuff, and then quite quickly the podcast takes off because of the whole timing stuff. You know, they started early, the connection with Rogan, the LA thing, it took off really quickly, and suddenly he's becoming more famous being a podcaster than he is being, but there's not parlaying, sorry, into acting. So I feel like he was always quite empty back then. But then once the cancellation thing happened, it took away everything that he loved, that he kind of worked for, because he was finally getting somewhere with acting. He was doing Goldbergs. He got his own little spin-off show that he was in, a big part in with Schooled. His character was very popular and beloved in that community of people that watched that program. Then that parlayed into the flipping the Joker movie. Even though it's a short cameo, the fact that he's associated with it is good because the director, if I'm not mistaken, is a friend of CALLEN, who he's known for a while. Most likely, if he didn't get cancelled, he most likely would have been cast in the sequel. I imagine he probably would have got another sort of cameo role in there again. So it clearly was going kind of right for him just before, honestly, I'm not sure if it's karma or the universe, but that was pretty brutal. Just as he's about to start getting a second win in his career, third, fourth win, bam, the cancellation happens. You know what I mean? Like, it was pretty swift. So it makes sense why he's so empty. And then the divorce stuff happened as well, the Crystalia stuff. Like, it's been a pretty brutal journey for that guy, man. He's gone through it. Like, he really has gone through it. And now he's basically an employee of Brendan Schaub's. It's not even like he's like a co-host or like a co-owner like he was back in the day on A Fire and a Kid when it first started. Now it feels like it's Brendan's show and he's one of the hosts, or he's like an employee, a guest that appears on there. The dynamic is really weird, man. Really, really weird. Like, it's like to the point where I was saying before that I don't think they really hang out or talk to each other outside of the podcast. I think they see each other when they record, then they jump in their cars and they go separate ways. 100%. I don't think there's any kind of real love or kind of chemistry there like it was prior, because the jokes don't seem off. They don't really seem like I don't know. I just don't think they're like in that kind of same place. But anyway, what can we do? It's what it is, isn't it? Sometimes the best thing to do, not to get flipping have this thing happen, is just not to R-word people, innit? Don't R-word people, don't SA people, and you're pretty much fine for the most part. Keep your wee-wee in your flipping pants. Only touch people that say they want to be touched, and you're gonna be pretty much okay for the most part, I think. But hey, what do I know? Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about the cover photo for this podcast. It is this picture that somebody uploaded on the Fire and the Kid subreddit. I don't know whose account it's from, but it's legitimately one of the funniest pictures ever. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is a green room somewhere in some comedy club, right? I don't know what comedy club it is, but you know, comedians are always talking about the green room, the hang, and they make it seem like it's the most flipping not luxurious, but it's the most like enviable place to be. It's the place where all the action happens. If you're not in a green room, then who are you? Look at how depressing this looks. All of these dudes just hanging around in this little dark room with 1,000 water bottles on the table. I don't know, someone racking up maybe off camera, sitting on an uncomfortable sofa waiting to do their 10 minutes of jokes. Like, it looks terrible, doesn't it? Personally, like, I could find better time. I could find way more things to do than to spend my time in the green room of a fucking comedy club. Are you insane, with everyone trying to one up each other and prove how funny they are? No, thank you. Don't know who let's try and name the people. Don't know who this guy is on the left. This is Tony Rock, right? Chris Rock's brother, I think, here. This lady here sitting next to Bobby Lee, I don't know. if I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna say she might be Bobby Lee's new girlfriend, because I think he mentioned on Tiger Belly that he's seeing somebody, right? Maybe that's the new girl that Bobby Lee's seeing, right? And you know, I'd imagine, I don't know, who knows? Maybe it's a comedian. Sam Tripoli, of course, there with his authentic, you know, multivitamin smile, right? Only multivitamins make you smile like that. And then you got Brendan looking so uncomfortable. Look at how he looks there, sitting there with his arms crossed. Like he got told off or something. I'm assuming something happened. What do we think happened? What do we think happened? What do we think happened? What do we think happened between them two when they sat down here? What's someone saying? Yeah, man's eyes looking bad. Yeah, Curtis in Houston. Yep, his eyes are looking very droopy. Maybe he's sad and he cried. Yeah, that is okay. Eddie D said, yeah, Eddie D said that is Bobby Lee's new girlfriend. Okay, cool. So this is the upgrade from Kalila. These guys just, I wonder if there's something about comedians and being like in relationships when clearly the relationships may have hurt them in the past, or they maybe need a break and need to be alone. I don't know. I feel like a lot of comedians are really kind of lonely. They kind of all need to have some companion next to them, but then when they have a companion, they don't really take care of them or look after them or pay them much attention. It's a very strange relationship, isn't it? There's not many like single out there comics. They're all kind of in relationships with people, but then they don't necessarily like being at home. It's really weird. Sorry. Oh, that was a weird burp there. Space Kai said what? I had Space Girl said, I had a comic tell me that Brian was a dick to him in the green room. No BS, his ego isn't just a bit. LOL. Oh wow, really? There's no way someone like Brian could ever flipping big time me. Imagine a guy like Brian, the way he looks, his hair, how small he is, like trying to big time you in the flipping green room. Like doing some boxing or whatever. Like, come on, man, like that's not happening. But I can understand if you're not that well known and you think he's kind of a big deal and he tries to sun you and stuff. But yeah, that's a shame to hear, to be honest. It's always good when it's the opposite, when somebody that's quite abrasive, because people say that about Ari Shaffir. Ari Shaffir sometimes comes across really bad on podcasts, but people say in person he's really nice. He's really personable. You give you time, you say hi, you take pictures and shit. Like, he seems like a cool dude. So it's always better when it's that way. It's always better when you're a dick on content, like as a bit, but then when people meet you in real life, you're really nice. Cause yeah, 90% of the people like act like NPCs, exactly. But yeah, but I wonder what happened there, because clearly Bobby Lee doesn't want to talk. Look, he's got his whole back. Look at the body language. He's got half his back angled towards flipping Brendan. It's really awkward, I guess, there. Sam Tripoli's trying to make them speak and be on good terms, but that's not going to happen. I don't know who this guy is next to. This is the guy that does comedy on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, right? I forgot his name. He's got funny bits here and there. He's pretty cool. I don't know who this guy is next to him in the middle. Do you guys know who this one? Who's this guy here with the hairline that goes nearly to the back of his head? Okay, that's Trevor. Uchi said that's Trevor Wallace. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who this guy is. It looks like is that a man bun? No, it's not. It's just like shiny hair. I don't know who this gentleman is either. Probably another comedian. And this gentleman here, who's that? Is he the muscle security? Who is this? No idea. But God Almighty, what a depressing room to be in. This is what you have to do to earn your money, though. So they do get paid a lot, 10 to 30 grand, but then you have to sit in a room with other comedians and pretend you're all friends when you're really not. You know? You have to flip in. Natashki, I don't know, but he looks like he needs more Sun's vitamins. Yeah, those vitamins really be hitting, man. They really be hitting. Oh my God, man. Awful, 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 awful. The whole entire thing is awful. The other thing I was thinking was hilarious too. I always make the point of it, not to be like, you know, a dick, but just because I think it's hilarious. Isn't it funny that allegedly, we don't know if this to be true because it's a he said, she said situation, but the story is that allegedly this guy here, Brendan Schaub, tried to slide into the DMs of Bobby Lee's then girlfriend, Kalila, right? Ex-girlfriend now, or ex-fiance, whatever you want to call it. He tried to fuck his ex-fiance, right? I think on Christmas or something, right? And then but he's still friends with everybody. Isn't that weird? Like Bobby Lee's obviously the main draw. He's one everyone knows. He's been in the scene for a while. He's been on TV. Basically describe him as like a legend or a cult hero, whatever it may be. Like, you can try and fuck another famous comedian's girlfriend or fiance, and because you're linked to Joe Rogan and you've got your own clout, people just forgive it or just don't bother. They don't, they don't choose sides. They don't excommunicate you. You're fine. It's okay. No, it's fine. Oh yeah, you tried to fuck up. It's fine. It happens, isn't it? It's like, what? Only in stand-up comedy could that happen. Imagine happening in your friend circle. Like, one of your friends tried to fuck one of your friends' wives. Like, wouldn't that cause a fight at least? Wouldn't you have to, like, go into the garden and do a casual bit of fisticuffs? I find that really, really fascinating. Like, it just, they had that kind of embarrassing flipping Tiger Belly show where clearly Brendan was trying to defend himself and it went horribly wrong. But for the most part, nothing really bad happened. No excommunication, no nothing. Obviously, judging by the guest on flipping The Fighter and the Kid, judging by the guest now on The Fighter and the Kid, clearly people have chosen sides, because I don't think they've had another decent comic on The Fighter and the Kid since that whole Bobby Lee thing happened. Even Burt Kreischer hasn't been on The Fighter and the Kid. He went on, did Burt Kreischer went fight? No, he did, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Sorry, Burt Kreischer did Fighter and the Kid and Fight Companion. I think he did a full day of content with them. So it's just wild, man. Nothing really happened, didn't it, for the most part? Yeah, Space Girl said, yeah, they don't care about hitting on each other's spouses because they all cheat on them. Yeah, I think that's a good point. That's a very good point. Chris Curtis in Houston says, yeah, true, you can't exactly call someone else out when you're doing the same thing, innit? When you're on people's DMs giving them purple devil emojis. Curtis in Houston says, AZ's the next Tom Hanks. Imagine me being the next Tom Hanks. Imagine. Papa looks like someone's popped him in the eye. Oh yeah, true. His left eye here looks a little bit looks a little bit swole. But yeah, what a legend, man. Look at that. If this is the green room that they will talk about, that's like the place to be, I'd have no interest in it. That looks like hell to me. Like, just loads of dudes hanging out, bickering and gossiping about each other, complaining who gets the money, who gets the shots, who gets the spots, trying to pretend to laugh at people's jokes and they're not funny. Or maybe this is a face, thinking about it now, maybe this is a face of somebody that just came off stage and they bombed. Maybe he doesn't bomb though. Remember Brenda said he don't bomb, so maybe he doesn't bomb, so that doesn't happen. But maybe that's the face of someone that doesn't bomb. Sam Tripoli as well, man. Look at him, no shame. You're my friend now. Look at the arm there. You're my friend now. But hey, you gotta pay your bills somehow, innit, I guess. But yeah, those are those guys in the green room having a way of the time. There's a lot of waters there, innit? Bloody hell, there's a lot of waters. Okay, there's some whiskeys there, of course. We know where they're going. A couple of Tiger Fit glasses there. A phone. I don't see any lines or anything. So it's not even a fun green room. Look, there's a nicotine box there. It's a bit boring, isn't it? It really is boring. Like, yeah, I'd rather pay for the show. That's what I think. I think a lot of these people think, oddly enough, that fans want to be their friends. They just want your entertainment. Distract them from their, their drudgery of their everyday life. Provide me entertainment. Make me laugh. I'll order my drinks, have my burger, and I'll go home. You know what I mean? That's it. Don't need to do anything else. I don't need to be in this room with you hanging out, because this looks kind of boring. And you've all got your own weird inter-politics going on here, and you all probably hate each other and think you're better than the other person. It's probably not the best thing. I don't think so personally for me, but yeah. Yeah, Evie. Joe Rogan talks up his green room where he shadow boxes and listens to Miley Cyrus. Fucking embarrassing. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I just know these guys hate each other behind the scenes. That's what I know. They'll pretend like they're a crew, and they're all doing this because everyone kind of can add to each other and the picture can go viral. But yeah, that doesn't look the most comfortable place to be. Happy to be just an outsider from the outside, looking from the outside in, to be honest. Outsider looking from the outside in is a Brendan Shaw thing to say, to be honest. That is a mess up. Let's move on. Oh, let's talk about this one. This is a clip that's obviously going to get me taken off of YouTube, or it's going to get me demonetized, but let's play it anyway. So this is what's his name? This is Joe Rogan talking to the guy. What's his face? What's the guy from you guys will know. The guy from the show where they do the fucking dares and stuff. What's the thing called? Jackass. The guy from Jackass. What's his name? The one with the voice, yeah. What's his name again? Joe Rogan's interviewing him. Hopefully you guys remember the chat. What's his flipping name? I forgot. He's got a podcast too. That's pretty decent. What's his fucking name? This is Steve-O. Steve-O, thank you. Whew. Honestly, my brain is so... I'm probably drinking too much coffee. But anyway, Joe Rogan's talking to Steve-O in this clip from the Joe Rogan Experience from a recent episode. And he's doing this weird thing. Right? And hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. But I have a theory that, or I felt like, early in like the Sober October journey, when they were doing it on the Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah, exactly. You don't know Steve-O, but you know who Greg Abbott is. Look, I'm a man of many talents. What can I say? But no, let's for real. I felt like the early times of Sober October, they were using Sober October as like a de facto or like a sly way to have an intervention with Burt, because I feel like a lot of those guys in that crew, number one, thought Burt was an alcoholic, and number two, I don't think they really respected the whole like taking your shirt off comedy. And I think a lot of them thought, oh, he's only doing that because he's getting drunk and he's getting mashed up when he's doing his show. So they kind of wanted him to just stop drinking in general to get fit and get back healthy, and hopefully to make him stop taking off his t-shirt. Obviously he resisted and he's still doing the same thing now. But every time Joe had a show where the guest he was speaking to would speak about drug addiction, alcoholism, I felt like he'd be saying stuff about how it's important to like be healthy and work out and the dangers of alcohol, because he was trying to send a subliminal message to Burt. And I think Burt noticed it, because I think he spoke about on some podcasts, like Joe Rogan was doing these things where like he was talking vaguely about things, talking generally about topics, but it kind of felt like he was talking about somebody. And I feel like in this clip he's doing, but now he stopped, I think because he's kind of accepted that Burt's who he is. But in this clip, I feel like Joe is talking about Brendan, and he's now starting to do it to Brendan, because obviously Brendan's had a few faux pas in public. He's obviously had that handler comment from Rogan, and you know their relationship isn't the same as it was prior. I don't care what they say, and I text him all the time, he's my friend. Yeah, sure, whatever you say. I don't think the relationship is the same. So because of that, he's now feels more comfortable to kind of maybe get at Brendan a little bit and say some stuff. So this is him talking to Steve-O and commenting it. And I'm going to try and take it off the screen a couple of times so it doesn't get clipped or stuff. But hopefully I don't get clipped, but hopefully you can hear it at least.
You know? Yeah, and it's crazy how some things you think are going to work so well don't work. And then other things that like...
But you figured it out. Some people never figured out. That's the saddest shit. The saddest shit is that people, there's comics that, look, I'm all for everyone trying comedy, but some people don't ever get it. They never get it. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Some people get it. Like I saw guys that used to struggle, like Sebastian used to struggle. He used to struggle. And then one day I hadn't seen him in a while because, you know, I got kicked out of the Comedy Store in 2007 and I was on the road. And I was in Vegas. I'm pretty sure I was in Vegas for a UFC. And I was alone in my hotel room watching TV, just flipping through the channels. And Showtime came on. And Sebastian was on. I was like, oh, look at Sebastian's got a special. And it was fucking great. It was really funny. And I remember tweeting it, saying how fucking funny it is. And I got a hold of him. And I said,
hold on. That's a clip from the Fire in the Kids subreddit, right? So obviously I did a bit of a misdirection there. But the funny thing about it, he legitimately was crying for like 30 seconds. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? He was legitimately crying and sobbing in the original clip for more than 30 seconds. This video was insane. My man got his own friends to make a compilation video of him crying. No, Natasha Ski, this is not real. So this video of him crying is taken from another show. It's taken from the Schaub show when Brendan was crying, when Chin played a video compilation of his friends thanking him for doing a stand-up special when he did Gringo Pappy, and he started sobbing. So somebody on the Fire in the Kids subreddit put those two clips together, overlaid Joe Rogan talking vaguely about somebody not getting it, which probably is Brendan, and then overlaid it with this video of Brendan crying on the Schaub show. So it looks like he's crying because of what Rogan said, but it's not. He's crying because his friend said he did the show. This is wild, man. He's crying for look, sobbing. This would be good if like he didn't, but this, I don't know. My theory still is that he made Chin make that video. Hey, go tell my friends to put the compilation together. And then he started crying like this. This dude cries when his best friend or in comedy, Crystalia, gets cancelled for diddling. Cries when his friends thank him for doing a stand-up special. But you didn't see any other cries when it came to something involving his family. Nothing. Zero. No emotion. But when it comes to friends getting cancelled and people thanking him for doing stand-up, he starts sobbing.
Tweeting it, saying how fucking funny it is. And I got a hold of him. I said, dude, that was awesome. I just loved it. I love that he found his confidence. He found that thing, whatever it is, that swagger. He figured it out.
Dude.
He's talking about Brendan. It's awful, man. And that's another thing too, I think, that I don't like in general about these guys, because I feel like they don't, I don't know, maybe Rogan does it because I feel like he's a real honest guy, maybe be a bit upfront, but I feel like these guys are never honest with each other or really like upfront. I don't think, well, to be honest, you know, he's not going to go out there his way to try and tell Brendan, but I don't think if Brendan asked Rogan, hey, what do you think of my comedy? I don't think he'd give him an honest answer and say, hey, you're pretty terrible, man. You need to improve. You need to go back to the drawing board. You need to maybe go and do open mics. You need to go and perform in front of people that don't know who you are, do random spots around the country, around your area, wherever like everyone else does, and build actual sets and reps that way, write better, maybe hire some writers. He wouldn't say that to him. I don't think so. So as much as people can laugh at him being terrible at comedy, I also think that industry overall, especially if you're linked to certain people, it just doesn't help you, man. No one's really honest, especially if you've got more money than them and you're more successful. No one really wants to be honest because they want a favor from you. They want to come on your show. They want an introduction. So you don't really get any real feedback, really. The only real feedback you get is when people troll you on flipping subreddits and stuff. But then because you're so, you know, living in your own bubble, you can immediately dismiss that as trolls because the people around you, you know, basically blow smoke up your ass every day. So it doesn't necessarily compute. Like, how can I be bad if all my friends around me who are successful and rich and drive cars and, you know, what did Brendan Shaw's wife say? Like something like, oh, people are just jealous because he's good looking and fit. I don't know, some nonsense like that. I was like, oh my God, these people are insane. But I think, you know, in their day-to-day reality, they don't really get any real feedback. So it's hard to really figure out how bad I am and all that stuff. So even Rogan, so that's the thing sometimes I like, it's good that he's saying this, but I get the feeling that he never says this stuff in person to the guy. He just hopes that this message can get through and someone will clip it or someone will, or he's basically listening, because most of these comedians, I think, listen to every episode of Joe Rogan Experience because they want to, you know, be kept up to date with what he's saying, and maybe they might get a mention so they can text him to get on the show. It's a bit brutal, man, honestly. I don't know, as much as I love to laugh at them and stuff and the things they do, it must be a brutal industry to be in, man. It really does. 1 minute you're the hot shit and everyone wants to be on your show, then you go through some scandals and then suddenly no one's returning your calls, answering your DMs, not attending your wedding. It must be brutal to take in real life, man, to be like around these people, honestly. It must be absolutely brutal. And then we're going to play this clip. This is a pretty brutal one. Talking about how flipping talking about how, you know, comedians are legit degenerates. I had no idea about this. No idea. Maybe you guys knew, and you guys are way more plugged in than I am, but I'm learning new lore about comedians. Did you guys know that Bobby Lee used to fuck Mitzi Shaw, the founder of the Comedy Store? Also Paulie Shaw's mum. Were you guys aware of that? That Bobby Lee and Mitzi Shaw had sexual relations, like numerous times. Did you know this, or am I just finding this out now? Because this is absolutely insane. Ari Shaffir was on Tiger Belly, another great appearance on his podcast tour, and this is what he said. This is absolutely crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, angry.
Yeah.
Could you get hard for real?
I don't want to. I don't know what that looks like.
Could you get hard for anyone's mom?
Mitzi, you got hard for Mitzi when you fucked her. When you used to fuck her all the time.
Whoa!
Fuck Mitzi all the time, and so that must have been hard.
Yeah.
Did you shove it in? How'd you do it? Did you shove it in?
Did you feel sad when your boy died, Bud Friedman? When you fucked him? When you fucked him?
My boy.
Yeah. Right. You fucked him in the ass.
I was fucked by him.
Nobody respects the top and bottom anymore.
Yeah. How dare you? I know.
How dare you
I know,
top me?
But I do know. I do know guys that ate Mitzi out. Polly be mad.
You told me this.
I told you that.
Who ate Mitzi out? The problem, people are like, when she was younger, she was hot.
Because
but I was like, she took over the store when she was 43. She was never younger.
Than 43?
Yeah, she was never younger.
She was pretty hot though in some photos.
She kept it together.
Yeah, in her 40s. I think if we were around.
Excuse me. Let's look because I had to Google this. R.I.P. to the dead. She's a fucking legend. Great comedy club that set the precedent for all comedy clubs. I went there. Like I said, I went to LA in 2017. Amazing place to be at. You feel the flipping atmosphere when you're in there. All the names scribbled outside. Amazing, cool. I get it. But is this lady hot to you? Maybe that picture is one of her best ones. That one here. That's a really good picture. But is that a hot lady? I don't know. Tell me. What do you guys think? Is that a hot lady? Because I'm just seeing like a lady. I'm just seeing like a mum. I don't see somebody that you would immediately see and think, oh, I've got a boner. That's just like a mum, isn't it? Like a boss or like a manager or like a supervisor or something. That's Mitzi Shaw when she's older. Charles, she's handsome. Richard Pryor there. Do you think he's anyway? I don't know. Look, God damn it, Bobby Lee, man. God damn it. Holy shit. You know what's funny though? I've heard these stories before. I remember someone saying, I think this was maybe Joe Rogan said it or somebody on some podcast. I remember them saying this was at the time when the Me Too thing was happening, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, was Me Too around pandemic. Maybe it was a couple of years before it. Maybe it was 2018. But I remember there was a podcast I listened to where someone said something like, oh, it's funny because Mitzi would probably get cancelled nowadays because Mitzi was doing the thing that male comics do to like female comics, where Mitzi was using her position at the comedy store to basically curry sexual favors from guys. Like she'll take them up to her office and stuff and do stuff with some guys that she fancied and liked. And I remember someone saying that sometimes she'd book people and pass people at the store just based because she thought they were cute. So she had a very particular, criteria. Sometimes she, was obviously on it, and that's obviously I think she had Alzheimer's or something in terms of her brain deteriorating. But she used to sometimes pass people who weren't funny, and some people hypothesized that was because that they were having sex behind the scenes or whatnot. So she was legit boss. She absolutely legit boss. This old lady managed to get all these male comics to eat her out to get comedy spot time. To get stage time, honestly. One absolute legend. Like, she absolutely legend. Oh my God, man. Imagine Paulie Shaw knowing that some of his comedic friends that he's, on podcasts with may have flipping dogged out his mum. Like, oh my God. Jesus Christ. Just imagine. Exactly. Bobby Lee remembers, but she's sure. Yeah, I bet he does. I bet he remembers her. God almighty.
Around in her 40s. Were we around her? No, we weren't.
No.
That was in the fucking 80s. Early 80s.
Yeah, early.
Early 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe we would have done it. What are you going?
Exactly.
Oh,
wow.
It's a strong one.
It's so fun. That's my thing.
That's your thing?
Dude, you
I try to come on the podcast. I try to come on the podcast with respect.
Bro,
I try to respect.
Remember you used to fucking take my style?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
You're a big influence.
I would get a fucking armband. You would get an armband.
Yeah, but you never called poser.
What?
Anywhere I went, people were like, poser, under their breath.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had to be like, correct.
Oh, really?
I don't even
So
know
I
how to
had
skate.
pretty good style back then.
You had great style. You've always had good
my
style.
God, that's so great.
Anyway, you get the point. But yeah, Bobby Lee used to fuck Mitzi Shaw back in the day. Absolutely crazy, innit? Like, yeah, dark web chase, that stuff. Yeah, that's some white boy comedy shit, though, isn't it? Like farting into mics and stuff and all that. It's like, all right, or pulling people's trousers down. Okay, like, haha, I guess. I don't know. I don't really get it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's a lot to for a comedy spot, man. But these comedians really work for their money, innit? Talking about comedy spot and talking about sexual favors. Have you guys seen this? Do you guys know who Gordon Ryan is? Are you guys familiar with Gordon Ryan? Do you know who this man is? Gordon Ryan, the greatest jiu-jitsu practitioner of all time. Absolute white jacked god, right? He looks incredible. Clearly not on any gear. This is all just white rice and chicken, right? Pure white rice and chicken only. No extra work done. He runs a lot, does push-ups, and that's it. Nothing else. That's why. Nothing else. Nothing else. So he recently met up with what's his face? What's that guy's name? John Momoa. I guess they went to Hawaii to train with him or do something. And I don't know, man. I'm getting a feeling that Gordon Ryan and his girlfriend or wife or fiance, I get the feeling that they may have had some sort of like weird. Sorry, not John. I said John Momoa. Jason Momoa. My bad. I get the Uchi's gonna come back in there again and say, you don't know Jason Momoa's name, but you know who Greg Abbott is. Anyway, I get the feeling, right, from this clip you're gonna see that these three may have had some sort of sexual relations. What do you think? This is very interesting. They all went to visit him and hang out at his place, I guess, and train and wear the traditional Hawaiian garb. But I've got a feeling that they may have had some hanky-panky time. What do you guys think? Look at these videos. I saw this randomly. I was like, did these guys fuck? Look at this. Look. Just them hanging out, you know, Jason Momoa, Gordon Ryan there. Gordon Ryan's his girl. See the other slide. That's them hanging out. Look at them, looking absolutely incredible, right? God damn it, bro. God damn it. And then look at this video.
There you go. I do this for you guys. Wow. I just opened it. This is my climbing company that my friends have. And look, they made a pink polka dot. And look, oh, there you go. Welcome to Hawaii. I think you can only do this in Texas and Hawaii. All right, smile. I'll get some pictures. 1, 2, cheese. Okay, gotcha. There you go.
And then that's them in the obviously in the house when you got someone like Gordon Ryan there. They start rolling.
If you're carrying body weight chest to chest, it's fucking hard. It's exhausting.
So it's cozy.
And most people, once they're pinned in half guard, so I control mouth, they really have no escapes. They don't have that layered defense we talked about. So the whole thing is to force them into bottom half guard, like best gi guard passer of all time, Hodger. The whole thing is.
Yep. Another fucking Monday night. Mamoa household.
Half the mound, and then.
It's Monday, right?
And then of course they had to start rolling.
It's going down.
Maybe fucking. Who knows?
What do you do? What do you do?
Oh shit! Get your legs away from me, bro.
It's going down. Oh no!
How do you make it so smooth? Right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got a feeling something may have happened behind the scenes with these people because I don't I don't know. This happens when you're just rich, good looking, famous, you know what I mean? You just do these things, you know? You just hang out in Hawaii.
So, my new bro, he's fully Hawaiian now. He got tatted. We'll stay right here, Brian. He's got tatted. He's got his malo on. Got him drinking Mononalo. All right, come here. Say hi to the world. Gordon.
What's up, everybody?
Maybe the girl wasn't even involved. Maybe they fucked.
Yeah! He's full local now. Look at that.
Yeah! Oh, Jesus Christ. Jason Momoa is a flipping, a pretty decent bum, innit? Like, let's not lie. Jesus Christ. His ass is round, brother. Like, god damn.
appreciate this view, bro. See how good that view is? And you just want
to... Yo, Jason is flipping. Yeah, exactly. He's double cheeked up in it for real, mate. Gordon Ryan has more of a traditional white bum, but look, he's got some bounce in that, mate. Look, he's got a little bounce in that. Got some bounce. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe they fucked, maybe they didn't. Maybe it's just jiu-jitsu life. Who knows? But yeah, big up them regardless. Hell of a time, right? Something happened. I don't know what. It's probably out of my age range, out of my flipping, level of interest to care, but something definitely did happen. Oh, mate. Oh, man. Oh, and also to end, because I've been going for super long, Brendan Schaub's boy actually looks like he got a purple belt. So big up Brendan Schaub's boy. If you're wondering who Brendan Schaub's boy is, it's Mario Lopez. Oh, my bad. Mario Lopez. You see that? Mario Lopez got himself a purple belt. Courtesy of I guess the same school that Gordon Ryan goes to. The caption reads as follows: "Congrats to my buddy Mario Lopez on his well-deserved purple belt today. Things are getting serious now. Excited to see him in the purple belt divisions. Now somehow in the Master 14 division, even though he still looks 26. So there's Mario Lopez there, looking young with his purple belt, looking to fuck somebody up. He's a pretty decent boxer, I've heard too, so now he's flipping doing jiu-jitsu, must be amazing. The funny thing is, I brought him up was because, do you remember when Mario Lopez and Brendan had beef? Do you guys remember that? If you don't remember, it was during the time when Conor McGregor was going to fight Floyd Mayweather, sorry, and Brendan Schaub was basically cucking for flipping Conor, when Conor used to be the guy that he was on the hype train for and sucking him off all the time. And he was trying to convince the world that Conor McGregor would win because he has a wide stance and he comes at different angles, UFC angles. And everyone was like, what? This is a boxing fight. Why would these UFC angles work on one of the greatest boxers of all time? He didn't buy it. He kept shilling for flipping for Conor, and obviously you know how the fight ended. But I remember it because this is when I used to watch the show a lot, and Brendan was going on a tour to promote himself because he was part of the coverage for Showtime when Conor McGregor fought Floyd, and he actually went on Mario Lopez's show. Do you remember that? And they had a very frosty back and forth, and I got the feeling that Mario Lopez doesn't necessarily like Schaub that much. And look at the difference in Schaub. Look at him. This is skinny Schaub when he used to actually work out. He didn't drink. He'd actually go for runs. He'd work out a bunch. He'd always be showing videos of him working out, doing crazy workouts with ropes and stuff, actually training like he was an athlete. And now he's completely different. Look, he's got a coffee in front of him, not a glass of whiskey. He looks completely different, isn't it? And Mario Lopez is exactly the same. He hasn't changed at all. He looks exactly the same. Nothing's changed that guy. He keeps himself in tip-top shape all year round, or for decades and decades. But look at this. This exchange is really interesting because I get the feeling Mario Lopez doesn't necessarily respect Brendan's boxing knowledge or like him as a human being. Let's watch the clip. This is from when? What year is this from? 5 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Are you a fan of the Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor stuff going on?
That is such a
Mixing
farce
both
and such
worlds?
an embarrassment. You know, I'm a fan of
Why you say that?
because it's a joke. I'm a fan of
Joke
creating
how?
big events because come on, is that a real question? Because just as Floyd was fair in the octagon, it's not. I would say I'd venture to
Nervous coffee sip.
say that whoever is ranked in the top 50, I think would be able to
beat Conor,
to handle Conor
in a pure boxing match. And
well, of course, that's what we're talking about.
We're not though, Mario.
Floyd's
We're
not
not
getting in the octagon.
No. I know that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Well, what's that we're talking? I thought we were talking boxing.
We are. What I'm
Right.
saying is Conor's not going to move and mimic like a traditional boxer. It's going to be a shit show. I agree with you. It's going to be weird.
Right.
But Conor's not going to stand there with the close distance with his gloves up. And it's not going to be a traditional boxing kind of fight.
Then he'll just get exerted. Floyd will figure out his timing, give him a couple feints, and he hasn't had a knockout in years. He will knock him out.
You think he's going to knock him out?
Oh, my God. I don't
Mario.
even think
Oh, look at the prediction. He got it spot on. Mario Lopez knows he's flipping, knows he's flipping boxing. He got the prediction spot on. He even predicted a knockout.
It's so and by the way, it's not even like I'm a big Floyd fan. I'm just trying to keep it real.
Fan.
I'm a boxing fan. I'm just trying to keep it real.
I'm keeping it real too. And what I'm saying is Conor's way bigger. You've seen Floyd.
And I like Conor. I think he's a very talented fighter.
He said Conor's bigger. As if come on. He's going as if Conor McGregor was Francis Ngannou compared to Floyd. Come on, man. Honestly, I don't remember this being so redacted. Wow.
But it's just a whole nother look, dude. Michael Jordan went to go try to play baseball, couldn't make it out of Triple A. I mean, it's just a whole nother.
I agree with
Tim
you.
Tebow right now trying. It's just a whole.
Tim's doing pretty well, but
not really.
He's doing pretty well at the level he's at.
Oh, see, look at him shilling. Remember, this is all. This is when Brendan was friends with Tim Tebow. Now he doesn't talk about him so much because I don't think, he probably doesn't want to be associated with Brendan. But remember when Tim Tebow could do no wrong because he was one of Brendan's friends, which is weird too, isn't it? He has some odd friends, innit? You wouldn't really think they'd be friends in the slightest. Tim is a flipping super religious dude, seems very family orientated, and Schaub is just Schaub, innit?
The level he's at, whether he's going to see the show, it's a whole nother thing.
You're
talking about one of the best defensive fighters of all time.
How old is he?
Dude, this guy doesn't party, doesn't drink. Floyd 10 years from now would take him out.
No.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yo, Mario Lopez's prediction was so on point. Right? Everything he's saying is so on point. Look at them nowadays. Floyd is still doing exhibition fights and getting paid millions. He's still running every day. He still kept himself in great shape. Conor now looks like he's like 100 pounds bigger, swole, neck thick, pulsating. Wouldn't flipping, pass a USADA test in a million years. Interesting, isn't it?
Mario.
Sugar Ray Leonard right now, what is he? 50 something would take him out.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
Mario, you're thinking
Dude,
of traditional boxing, brother.
Well,
if they both
that's
stand
not what
there.
we're talking about.
No, but he's not going to come at him.
You're thinking about traditional boxing, but that's what they're having. They're having a traditional boxing fight. Yeah, but it's different because he's an MMA guy.
Like a boxer.
He could come out him however way he wants. He could come out him. What's he gonna do in the ring that these guys haven't seen? He could come out him as any style he wants. It's not gonna be.
Mario,
make a difference.
Listen to me. So all I'm saying is the distance in MMA is about for me.
Mario's looking at him thinking, "Is this nigga serious? Is this flipping confusing guy serious?"
To you in boxing, I can be way closer and still get away with it. Conor's not in the angles, so he fights traditional and southpaw. He's left-handed. He's a bigger guy.
You actually
He's
think
faster.
to be competitive?
Hold on.
Mario Lopez is looking at him.
Hold on. I think Floyd. No, hold on. I think Floyd wins, but it's by decision. I think it goes all 12 rounds.
That was serious. Look at that question. Actually, look at him. Look at the sincerity of these boys.
Southpaw. He's left-handed. He's a bigger guy.
You actually
He's
think
faster.
to be competitive?
Hold on. I think Floyd. No, hold on. I think Floyd wins. Hold on. I think Floyd. No, hold on. I think. Hold on. I think
you actually think
faster.
to be competitive?
Hold on. I think Floyd. No, hold on. I think Floyd wins, but it's by decision. I think it goes all 12 rounds, and that's actually a win for MMA.
Even the producer's like, "Oh my god, this guy's redacted." Look at the producer at the back.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree. I think
You think he knocks him out?
I think it's a farce. I think it's a joke to even discuss. But I think the fact that
It's happening, sir.
Like I said, I'm supportive of big events. Of course, I'll watch, but I think it'll be a shit show when it does. And I think Floyd absolutely embarrasses him and knocks him out. Not even a question. And I'm not even coming from like I'm a Floyd fan. I'm just keeping it real.
Most people do, and I wholeheartedly disagree with this.
I've never even spent this much time talking about it because it's so dismissive.
But it shouldn't be because.
And I can't even imagine like somebody
You're talking
McGregor's
to
weight
other
like
boxers.
a Canelo. That would be Canelo packet. That would be embarrassing.
I agree. Canelo. I agree, brother. Canelo, McGregor, terrible.
How can you agree, but then you're saying that Conor's going to give him a fight? What are you actually saying here?
Fight. McGregor, Floyd, who's a counterpuncher, who's smaller, who's 42.
Right. He's a counterpuncher, and as soon as and those counterpunches will.
What they're gonna do? What? He hasn't done shit. And when's the last time he knocked someone out?
Those are against top caliber fighters, though, not against a guy who's just trying to fight as a hobby.
He's not fighting as a hobby. He's a top caliber fighter in a different league.
Yes, exactly.
And
Again,
he's way bigger though, Mario.
Oh my God. I'd be happy to make any bet you'd like.
Me too.
Any bet you'd like.
When it goes down,
All right.
I'm gonna
Fair
text
enough.
you, man.
Fair enough.
Man, Lopez was looking at this guy like, oh my God. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, God bless Brendan, man. Honestly, he did well, man. He really shielded for Conor well, convinced the world that he legitimately fought that. And then the funny thing was, so many years later, he said, oh, I didn't really believe Conor would win. It was my job to pretend that he could because I was working for Showtime. Yeah, right. You believed he was going to win. Come on, man. Yeah, right. Yeah, bloody right. That flipping liar. Absolute liar, pants on fire. But hey, what could he do in it? Boom, boom, boom. Move this back here. Let me move this back here. But yeah, that is it actually of the Action Singer show. It's been 2 hours and a half already. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you haven't, I apologize. I'll come better next time. But if you have enjoyed the show, then please, as a sign of gratitude, why don't you smash that like button for me? Hey, why don't you smash the like button for me? That'd be greatly appreciated. But regardless, thank you so much for hanging out. Every single one of you. It's been amazing. It's been fun. It's been good. We've had a good time. I've drunk all my coffee. Look at that. And now I'm going to go off to bed because it's already what is it? 3:30 in the morning here in the UK. So thank you so much for everybody that's tuning in or tuned in. I do really appreciate every single one of you. And it's been fun. It's been great as per usual. I'll try and do these more often and hopefully do them at a better time so that everyone can watch them and stuff. But I'll have the timestamps done as well by, you know, sometime in the morning so you guys can check it out. And then obviously I'll do clips and upload those later on in the week. So big up everybody in the chat. Big up Dark Web J as usual. Big up Michael. Big up Space Sky. Big up Andy. Big up Jared Mellerick. Big up Charles F. Big up James Langland. Big up Natasha Ski. Big up TB Huck. Big up Tom. Big up Austin, big up Eddie D, big up everybody that was in the chat. I do appreciate every single one of you. Uche, big up Earthmind, Chris Mack, every single one of you. I do appreciate every single one of you, really do. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Take care, everybody. It's been amazing. It's been fun. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.